Welcome in to episode number 35. This is a special episode from us here on the channel. We have a lot to cover. A lot of special things happened over this past week-ish. SmackDown went to 3 hours on Friday. Wrestle Kingdom 19 did what Wrestle Kingdom 19 does and brought us a return the wrestling industry desperately needed. AEW Dynasty faltered and did not meet expectations. Monday Night Raw, on the other hand, debuted on Netflix, and they exceeded expectations. And, of course, we're going to talk about NXT's New Year's Evil. But before we get to all of that good stuff, the news, the rumors, and innuendo in the hit piece, me and RK here believe in Joe Hendry. Let's roll that intro video, and let's get into the good stuff. Don't know what that noise was, but we're back. Episode number 35. Welcome in to This Week in Wrestling. I'm Kurt. That is RK. And there is no fade out with StreamYard yet. I really wish we could do that, but we can't. As you see, we're both big fans, clearly, of believing in Joe Hendry. RK's Pro Wrestling K8 finally showed up in Canada. How are we doing, RK? How are things going with you?
It's going good. It's been a day in the news. We'll get to that. AEW marks are absolutely losing their fucking minds.
Boy, are they. And
It's all
Matt,
about the numbers, but it's about the numbers, but it's not about the numbers. It's all about the numbers, guys, but it's not
it's
about the numbers.
only about the numbers when they want it to be about the numbers.
Um,
Which is also funny, by the way. I want to talk about numbers. We'll talk about it. The AEW numbers from Wednesday's Dynamite are not out, and they're normally out by now.
They scared. They scared.
They're scared.
As
They're
the
scared.
kids would say, they're scared.
Yeah.
Kurt, I have to say, Kurt is extremely happy we did not live stream NXT this week.
Yeah, we're not gonna go deep into that at all.
The South came out in him. That's about all I got to say.
The South. Wow. Okay. I'll take that. We're both wearing Joe Hendry shirts.
Let's just say Kurt and Triple H may be more alike than we think.
Joe Hendry. We got news about Joe Hendry. I don't know if you have the TNA Genesis is coming up very, very quickly. January 19th is Joe Hendry, Nick Nemeth, by the way, for the TNA World Championship. I just wanted to get that out since we're both wearing Joe Hendry shirts. We both believe still, and it should be a pretty good year, I would think, for Joe Hendry. We got a lot to talk about. As you can see, we're in a new era, new backgrounds. You'll see some cool stuff here once we get into the breakdowns. As I mentioned at the start of the show, we're going to talk about SmackDown's going to 3 hours on Friday. And let's just say myself and RK can agree it was a bit of a drag because we have not watched a 3-hour show in a very, very long time. So we did that on Friday. Obviously, the debut of Raw on Netflix, and RK is going to dig deep into the numbers.
I'm just going through my photos here on my phone because I save news clips and stuff that I come across. And for some reason, at some point this last year, actually, December 20th, I saved a picture of Tony Khan looking like only Tony Khan can look, holding a sign that said AEW ratings suck. And, well, I don't know why I saved that photo, but I must have laughed.
I found something on Twitter. Somebody sent all the screenshots. It's part 1 and part 2 of a Dave Meltzer meltdown today, RK. I'm sure we're going to dig deep when we hit the news here in just a second. But I guess before we get into it, I wanted to give you your props and tell you good work, RK, as you sit here and not pay attention to the props I'm giving you.
I can't hear you. I'm fucking doing my job.
Okay, that's fine. Well, I want you to look at the screen real quick because I have a special gift for you, a special message. Sure. We're recording on January 10th, so it's a little later. But I want you to enjoy this. This was sent to me by it's January 10th here on my time zone. January 9th for you. We're in the new year still, RK, and I wanted to give you a new year gift.
That is how years work.
Yeah. 2025. One of your favorite professional wrestlers out there on the indie scene wanted to send you a message, RK.
This is Mega Mondo and RK. Your mega friend, Kurt Gerald Jr., wanted Mega Mondo to mega wish you a happy Mega New Year, and it will be too damn mega.
Yeah, that was just for you.
Mega Mondo. That dude's a legend. A legend.
Mega Mondo wanted me to let the people know if you want a cameo just like that, you can go to Cameo. Mega Mondo does cameos for $5 a pop.
We should start doing cameos.
And you can go check out Mega Mondo on Cameo, and he will give you a message. You type it up. I'll put the link in the description to Mega Mondo's Cameo.
Just don't ask Kurt to book you in any matches because he might not.
I'm not gonna live that one down anyway. It was a poor choice of words, and I admit my fault. I just didn't choose the right words that I should have. Anyway,
white t-shirt, bandana.
Anything could have worked, man. Anything could have worked. With that being said, Arcade, you got anything to add before we dive into the news, rumors, innuendo, aka the hit piece?
Not overly. It was one hell of a week for wrestling. A lot of shit happened. Wrestle Kingdom was fantastic, as New Japan always puts on a great show. AEW Dynasty was a bit of a letdown. Thank God for Kenny Omega because he saved that show.
Yes, he did.
Raw was, you know what? A lot of people are complaining about stupid shit in it. You know what? Sit back, enjoy the ride, because that was a perfect show. Absolutely fantastic. NXT continues to be the best goddamn wrestling program on the planet. Nobody even comes close. Raw doesn't come close. SmackDown doesn't close. AEW doesn't even sniff NXT's jockstrap. It's not even close right now. NXT is on fire. Shawn Michaels continues to prove why he might be one of the most brilliant wrestling minds in the history of wrestling. That man continues to just feed us absolute brilliance. I mean, NXT doesn't miss. It rarely misses. I cannot think, like, seriously, if we go back to last year, all our best shows of the week, how many times we picked NXT over everything else? It's got to be in the lead by a long shot.
I should have kept an Excel document and just put a little hash mark next to what show we picked as show of the week to see how many we hit.
And also, next week on Dynamite, Kenny Omega is facing Brian Cage, and I will be tuning in.
Just for that match.
Just for that match.
And yeah, as RK said, Shawn Michaels, a brilliant mind. Tune in. So we're recording on a Thursday, which is what we used to record on. We switched to Sundays because it was easier for scheduling. So we're going to do a double episode, kind of. We have this one, and then this Sunday, we're going to talk about what happened on SmackDown this coming Friday. New Japan's Battle at the Valley, RK, where it all began for us here on the Top Rope Renegades. We're going to be watching that. We'll break that down on Sunday's episode, and we will bring you the Top Rope Awards show. I'm looking forward to that. Booker of the Year, RK, is one of the options. And it's going to be hard not to pick Shawn Michaels. What do you think?
Well, I mean, Tony Khan is always in the running.
Well, he is nominated. I will break the news. He is nominated for Booker of the Year.
I just have to bring this up right now. I just read this. A rerun of NXT New Year's Evil 2025 is set to go head-to-head with AEW's Collision this Saturday. Collision is going to lose to an NXT rerun.
Do you think they will? I'm intrigued.
100%.
I'm intrigued.
100%.
The NXT numbers, we're going to get into the numbers and all that, of course. NXT pulled a big number from New Year's Evil, and we'll talk about that after we get through, of course, RK, the lovely headlines. New Japan announcer Chris Charlton is on indefinite leave due to his anti-AEW commentary at Wrestle Dynasty. Charlton sparked controversy as he referred to Tony Khan as a money mark, which many have, by the way, during the instant classic between Omega and Gabe Kidd, and we're going to talk about that when we get to the Wrestle Kingdom's recap. Oh, man. Kenny Omega was going to take it easy, guys. He has also criticized what former New Japan stars Ospreay, White, and Okada have done since joining AEW. Sean Ross Sapp of Forgetful reported that Charlton has been suspended for 2 months. It is said that while AEW and Khan had no input on the suspension, sources say that AEW was not happy about the comments. RK, any more to add to that?
Yes, Forgetful was not a typo.
Okay, I knew it was when it popped me. It popped me.
But yeah, no, man. So Chris Charlton, I feel like, you know, he was doing the New Japan commentary. We didn't get to hear it because we got the wonderful voice of Walker. But I feel like he was just doing his job as a heel commentator, and he was a New Japan commentator, and he's going to take his shots at AEW. You watch any wrestling, you got the good commentators, you got the heel commentators. Mm-hmm. I feel like he was just doing his goddamn job. And Tony Khan is such a little bitch and critical and can't take any criticism on his job, and he thinks everything's a shot. And he's just like, oh, wow. And they're saying that he had no input on it. But God forbid if Tony Khan wasn't on that phone right away going, what the fuck, guys? This is you guys are being mean to me.
Meltzer replied to somebody about this situation and said, well, he's not a heel commentator. Okay.
Yeah, but it's a New Japan AEW co-show. He's the New Japan commentator, so he's going to side with New Japan.
Right. And I know we were listening, and we weren't listening maybe intently, and we kind of
Have you
missed all
ever
this.
fucking watched an episode of Raw when Jerry Lawler was fucking holy fuck?
Listen now, if you listen to Corey Graves, he made his debut on NXT. I'm sure we'll talk about that, or returned to NXT as
It
a
was
commentator.
It was a one-off.
Anyway, I remember vaguely hearing this segment. If you remember back, Rocky Romero was on commentary with Walker and Charlton as well. And there was a moment where Rocky and Chris Charlton went back and forth, and you heard Walker say, "Okay, guys, put your swords down." I remember that part, but I don't remember all the comments, so I had to go back and listen. And yeah, I mean, he was just really speaking the truth.
Honestly,
if I'm being honest.
Tony, you're gonna fucking release the beast, and we're gonna have to listen to Veda for the next 2 fucking months.
Get ready for Battle at the Valley. The premiere episode of Raw on Netflix surpassed Squid Game as the #1 most watched show on Netflix. Netflix calculates its top 10 by tracking viewing hours per title, factoring in how many users stream the show and for how long. So if you ever log into Netflix and you see the top 10 list, Monday Night Raw was sitting there. And you know what? Just for right now, I want to throw into my Netflix and see what is trending.
They do it every 24 hours now. So a lot of people originally, so if you just Google how does Netflix calculate its top 10 list, the first article to come up is when they first started the top 10 list back in 2021, and how they did it then was anybody who watched it for at least 2 minutes, it would count as a view. Okay. They recently changed that policy into 2023, where they calculate the amount of viewing minutes divided by the amount of just click on views, and then they use a metric to get the number from that. So now it is more based off of viewing hours and total views. Okay. But everybody instantly latched on because they just went on Google and said, "How does Netflix calculate top 10?" And they got their answer from a report from 4 years ago. And they're all like, "Oh, guys, it just means they clicked on it and watched it for 2 seconds and then clicked it off. It doesn't actually count." It's like, no, it's not how Netflix does it anymore. And also, I mean, it came out today. It was reported 4.9 million viewers worldwide on Netflix for the Raw debut, 2.6 in the United States. 96 countries don't air Raw on Netflix yet, including Germany, of all places. Yeah. Japan as well. But they still watch Raw at some point too. So those numbers weren't factored into that number. But nonetheless, 4.9 million reported viewers on Netflix. And then all the marks in the world. Well, you can't trust what the WWE and Netflix puts out. It's like, well, actually you can, because they're both publicly traded companies and they actually can't lie about the numbers.
And nobody batted an eye when the Tyson and Paul numbers came out, by the way.
Yeah.
Nobody said a fucking word.
They can't lie about it because they're a publicly traded company, and lying about it is a direct violation of FCC broadcasting rules and shit. And it's a federal crime to lie about your actual numbers when you're a publicly traded company, because it manipulates the stock market, and that's illegal. So for anybody thinking that those numbers aren't true, they are true because they have to be true. The reports came off of Sambu TV or some bullshit.
Yeah.
Let me pull up what I have on Sambu. So Sambu initially reported 664,000 viewers for Raw.
That was per household.
No, but just listen to me here. Just calm down. I got the report of what Sambu actually is. So everybody ran with the numbers and, oh, look, only 660. Like, get fucked. They dropped 1 million viewers, went to the largest streaming platform in the world. Get fucked.
Not a chance.
But anyways, that number came from Sambu TV. Samba TV. Sorry, Samba TV. Samba TV only measures certain brands of smart TVs, like not Roku, not LG, which isn't a smart TV on some cases. Even then, if people are using a smart TV but are using a PlayStation 5 to watch Netflix, then those aren't counted either. Mm-hmm. So it only grabs information from certain types of smart TVs when it's being watched. Okay. So, yeah, that number, not even close to be. Even Meltzer wasn't jumping on that report because he knew not to look like a fucking idiot reporting.
Think about it. We watched it. I watched it on my MacBook. You had it pulled up on your PC, right? So they can't. Samba's not calculating what we watched it on. We watched it on a fucking PC on a tab on Google Chrome. And I liked this quote.
Also, that being said, one last thing is Video Amp. Video Amp is the one that reported the 4.9 million, 2.6 million in the States. They report on pretty much anything that's viewed on streaming platforms and give accurate numbers. They have a historical error rate of like maybe 9% at the worst. So even if you factor out 10% of that 4.9 million, that's still 4.5 million.
Right.
So I mean,
this fact it was tweeted by Eric Bischoff. So I mean, take what you want, but I like Eric Bischoff, and I think he's normally educated about this. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics says that there are 2.5 persons per household, meaning approximately 6 million plus viewers in the U.S. alone. Nielsen reports total viewers, not households. It's apples to apples, whatever. The number is incredible. I'm willing to say RK 5 mil plus viewed Monday Night Raw. I know 4.9 is the number we're rolling with, but I'm counting in those 92 countries that still found a way to watch.
If they did watch, yeah.
Right.
Probably 100,000 people at least.
So I'm saying 5 mil as just a roundabout number because I don't know. That's what we're allowed to do.
Look, it doesn't matter. In the end, I mean, fuck. I didn't up until like 4 fucking years ago. Ratings, I never even gave a fuck.
Didn't matter
what ratings were. Somehow, AEW brought these fucking fucking fans brought this in.
You cared in the Monday Night Wars. The Monday Night Wars, it mattered.
I didn't even give a fuck. I was 13, 14 years old. I was just enjoying watching Stone Cold fucking give the finger to everybody and hot chicks on TV. Do I give a fuck about the numbers at like 14? Fuck off. I don't. So anyways, numbers are stupid. Look, it doesn't matter. When they were at 2 million, all the marks were like, oh, look, 2 million. They dropped down to 1.6 million. Dying company. Oh, they did 5 million on Netflix. That's a fake number. Fuck. It could be reported that they watched a billion fucking people watch Monday Night Raw. And some idiot's going to be out there going, well, there's 8 billion fucking people on the planet. That 1 billion isn't really actually a good number. You know that, right? There was like 7 billion people that didn't watch it. It's like, get fucked. Seriously, AEW just wants to justify their shitty-ass fucking show and their shitty-ass ratings for what? Just watch your fucking show that you cherish so fucking much and think is the greatest shit on the world. Yep. Go watch it and leave the fucking actual wrestling alone.
Yeah, stop. AEW fans and AEW as a whole, stop trying to compare yourself to WWE. There's no comparison anymore. You had a hot run when you started. Nobody's taking that away from AEW. They were on a roll when they started out. They were getting good viewership. But if you are dumb in the head if you don't see the decline in the ratings that has happened. And even if with Kenny Omega being back, I don't see the numbers getting better. I'm going to tune in. RK's going to tune in because Kenny's back. We want to see Kenny. But other than that, man, look at the wave. It just went down and down and down. Last week, what did they do? 500 something?
550, 560. Yeah.
I mean, if you don't see the trend, if you're ignoring the trend, I mean, come on.
Well, Kurt's going to tell you how Netflix gave NXT a bump.
Oh, I think they did. I mean, let's not be
100%. They gave them a bump. Now NXT is now in every country that Netflix is in, except for the States.
Right. So, just since we're on the topic, NXT did 957,000 viewers with a 0.25 in the rating. That's 957,000 viewers, and that is based off of the usual CW. Right. That's CWs. We're not factoring in how many people, like, say, you watched on Netflix. They had over 1 million viewers.
100% they did.
So WWE, and I agree with what some like Meltzer has said. That number, that 4.9 mil, it's not going to stick. It's going to go down. We're not dumb, but we're not going to sit here and act like it's the end of the world. It's not going to be 4.9 every week. That was the debut episode. We know we're not dumb. You know how many people were tuning in for that. Is it going to be more weekly than it was on the USA Network? I do believe so. And I think it'll stay that way.
It's easier access to it.
Yeah, NXT.
Like I said, either last week or a couple weeks ago, every single person I fucking know in this world has Netflix or has a way to watch Netflix.
Right. And NXT's number was massive. Like that's a massive number for what NXT.
Almost broke 1 million.
And that's on just the CW at 957,000. I'm not dumb. That 957,000 isn't going to be a repetitive number for NXT. It should. Everybody should watch NXT. But it'll go back down into the 700s on CW, maybe 600s. But you also, in my mind now, we have to factor in there's a bunch of wrestling fans in Canada. Canada loves professional wrestling. So they're tuning in on Netflix. People in the UK. UK's got a massive scene of watching professional wrestling. They're tuning in on Netflix. So the numbers for NXT are just literally going to be coming from the United States. And I'm intrigued to see where that number for NXT goes to in the next few weeks. And that's cool. But then in the back of my mind, I'm factoring in, okay, well, how many people watched on Netflix? That's the new, you know what? SmackDown.
And here's the thing. In the end, if NXT had 500,000 viewers, if NXT has 800,000 viewers, if Raw has 1.6, 4.9, 2.8, whatever, I'm not going to stop watching. I'm still going to have fun watching it. So I really don't see why anybody actually gives a fuck about the numbers. AEW, bravo. I'll get to it in the news, but you guys are making something like $3.6 million a week off your deal. Good job. As a company that's been in the business for 5 years to get a deal like that, that's impressive. WWE didn't have those kind of deals back in the day, and they almost went out of business, and they found a way to come back. And even when they were during the Attitude Era, they weren't getting those kind of deals. And Attitude Era, it was on average 5 million plus people watching Raw every fucking week. Wrestling's I don't think wrestling's ever going to reach that height again. There was something special about the Monday Night Wars, WCW, the Attitude Era, all that stuff. There was just something special about it at the time. Pop culture, everything gravitated toward that. Wrestlers were megastars. Is wrestling popular today? 100% it is. AEW proves that wrestling is popular today because a company that is an alternative gets viewers. They get fans. They have their diehard fans. We all know they have their fucking diehard fans. And that's good. A wrestling company can start up like that and be relevant and get a big time money deal like they did. That's good. But in the end, WWE is always going to be the top dog. There's nobody knocking them off that perch. They have been in the business for 40 plus years. They've been at the forefront of pushing the boundaries and the envelope and the way. AEW doesn't exist if WWE doesn't exist. It doesn't. It simply doesn't. AEW only exists because WWE already did all the legwork of getting wrestling to where it was.
It's what happens. That's how it rolls. WWE is the first to do things. Other companies have followed suit. We saw it with WWE Network. Other companies were like, that's not a bad idea.
WWE Network paved the way for streaming services in general. The WWE Network was ahead of its time, was revolutionary at the time. Nobody else was doing that. Netflix wasn't even a real thing.
And just to point out, WWE makes the deal with Netflix. They go to a streaming platform. AEW's new contract deal, they're going to a streaming platform. And we'll talk about Max in this next story here a little bit.
Max does not give that deal to AEW if WWE didn't do what they already had done.
100%. Let's go to the next story. New Japan announced an attendance of 16,300 for the Wrestle Dynasty in the Tokyo Dome. That is the lowest attended non-COVID Tokyo Dome number in forever. And it's down 8,000 from Wrestle Kingdom the night before. And I'm sure
even the Japanese fans don't give a fuck about AEW.
Going into it, I thought Wrestle Dynasty was like an AEW pay-per-view.
No, it was like basically night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom, but labeled as AEW.
And all the AEW stars were in the matches, really, is what it was. It was interesting. Let
me just go back on what I said a little bit. 16,300 people for a show, that's impressive. But I mean, they had 25,000 almost the night before. So and AEW fans instantly start trying to defend their shit and like going, oh well, they're just tired from the night before. You can't expect wrestling fans to show up in full force 2 nights in a row. It's like, hello, WrestleMania.
Right. SummerSlam
No,
only goes
that
to
the
2 nights.
fans just did not give a fuck about AEW Wrestle Dynasty as much. Wrestle Kingdom is like diehard New Japan pro wrestling. It's Wrestle Kingdom 19 for a reason. It's successful. They continue to do it.
Yep.
If Wrestle Dynasty was called Wrestle Kingdom Night 2 and you just threw a whole bunch of AEW stars on, I bet you had more fans there. I bet you did.
It's fair. What they did with Dynasty was piggyback, and they get pulled the same as Wrestle Kingdom. That's the way I look at it. Anyway, RK, your time to take it over. And what do we got? What do we got this week?
Malachi Black is expected to finish up with AEW and is believed to be leaving the company. It was previously noted that Black's contract would expire in early 2025, with options for an extension, but it appears that that won't be happening. WWE has expressed interest in bringing Malachi Black, Aleister Black, to the company back as recently as 2024, and the feeling is he would be welcomed back with open arms. This is especially true with his wife Zelina Vega in the company and Triple H in charge of WWE.
Come on home, please. He is a fantastic talent. With Triple H running the show now, I think he will be booked in a better light. It's similar, RK, to the situation where you are. I don't know how big of a fan of Aleister Black you were. You didn't watch, obviously, NXT when I was watching it. Black was fantastic. And similar to that of Karrion Kross. Triple H booked Karrion Kross fantastically in NXT, as well as Aleister Black. And then when the main roster call-ups, kind of fumbled it, and that was on Vince McMahon's shoulders there. But now with Triple H in charge, I think Aleister Black could be poised for something pretty cool. And we could look at, I guess Andrade, though, as an example of, Andrade hasn't done anything crazy since he came back, but let him cook. That's what I got to say.
Big Bronson Reed on Twitter. He posted something to squash some of the rumors about his injury and all that stuff. Let's clear some things up. Dirt sheets report ankle fracture injury. I unfortunately smashed my talus bone completely in half. I had it surgically repaired with screws and fragments taken out. Also had some bone marrow taken from my hip and put into my foot. Now this means I won't be at Raw's Netflix premiere. Don't expect a Rumble surprise, and the biggest loss is no Mania. Please keep up with me on social media at this time. Understand I've had a serious injury, undergone serious surgery, and have serious implications from that. It's not merely a fracture. And that's all the reports of Bronson Reed only fractured his ankle. Yeah. All the dirt sheets not actually knowing what actually happened. His ankle went.
Yeah. We saw it in the video. Honestly, I love when shit like this happens. When the talent comes out and they're like, "You guys are fucking idiots. Let me tell you how it really is." So yeah.
I don't know when this interview was. Seth Rollins on Chris Van Vliet recently.
That just dropped today, actually.
Okay. So in today's interview, this is good. This is good.
I want to point out real quick, it was recorded before his match with CM Punk. I do know that. They just posted.
So I mean, this is Chris Van Vliet and interviews with the wrestlers, they're usually pretty candid and they usually give true stories. It is well reported that Seth and CM Punk still don't get along to this day. They're very professional in their jobs, but they still don't like each other.
I'm sure you'll get to Bully Ray's comments. I'm sure you'll get to that.
I don't know if I will. I don't think I will. But anyways, nonetheless, in the interview with Chris Van Vliet today, he explains why CM Punk leaving WWE in 2014 was one of the most selfish scenes he's ever seen out of a human being in his life. He leaves in 2014, right? I think we were hustling, we were trying our damnedest, and we were giving garbage a lot of the time, and we were making the best of it. And he was in a position where he'd made a bunch of money and could just dip and go, and there wasn't an alternative. AEW didn't exist at that time. There was nowhere else to go. What are we going to do? Just pack up and leave because CM Punk's feelings were hurt? Because that's what he wanted from guys. He wanted them all to leave with him. He didn't want people who were his friends to stay and work for the company because he felt like it was some sort of betrayal to him. And I'm like, dude, A, this is my dream job. B, this is how I earn a living. And I'm just trying to set up. I'm trying to get to your level. I don't have the luxury to just quit. I can't go anywhere else and get paid this kind of money. like my career, I don't get to work till I'm 60 either. So it was one of the most selfish things I'd ever seen out of a human being. Like leaving the way he did and then kind of like expecting other people to follow him and then like taking shots at the place from a distance when he wouldn't even explain to his friends like why he was so resistant to continuing that friendship. Like I never got an answer on it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's well known that there is legitimate on that. Seth Rollins was a huge fan of CM Punk. They were friends, and CM Punk did do a big old fuck you to everybody in that company at the time, his friends and everything.
Let me piggyback off that with this comment from Bully Ray on Busted Open Radio. He said, the word that I got from a very, very, very trusted friend and confidant within the WWE was these two guys, although maintaining the utmost levels of professionalism, do not like each other to this day. Seth Rollins does not like CM Punk at all. Punk can't stand what Rollins has turned into. There is very, very real animosity, said Bully Ray on Busted Open Radio. And he shared a clip of when Rollins hit a GTS on Punk. And he said, remember what I said on Busted Open Radio about live rounds. There was one of the GTSs where Punk, I'm looking at it now, Rollins connected pretty freaking clean on the bridge of Punk's nose on one of those GTSs. And if you watch the post-match interview on Raw, Punk said he might have to change his finish because he's never really taken a GTS, and he took it from Seth, and he's like, it freaking hurts. So I don't know if he was kind of hinting at that, but Bully Ray said there would be some live rounds thrown between the two. Listen, if there's real animosity, okay. I think they're professional enough, and Punk's in a different place now to where they're going to work together. They'll do their thing, but you don't have to like the people you work with. You don't.
No, and as long as they can stay professional, which obviously they have because they put on an absolute match.
Some AEW fanboys were like, "Oh, he's talking a Punk's post-match interview with Jackie Redmond where he was talking his shit, really." So he said he's really talking like that after putting on a 3-star match. Like, come on.
Yeah, not really a 3-star match, but whatever. Probably the best match. I went back and watched it because I was so tired Monday night. Went back and watched it again, and that match was so fucking good. And now he just has Roman Reigns left because he's done the same thing to Seth and to Jon Moxley. The GTS fall down. They fall into his shoulders. Second GTS. Roman, you're next, buddy.
WrestleMania. So they say.
Okay. I'm on my other computer here because I wrote notes on that before I swapped. Anyways, nonetheless. It is reported that Penta and the Phoenix breakup with AEW happened because they both felt they had stagnated in AEW and knew WWE was interested. Tony Khan then offered them more money to stay, but they had already decided to leave at that point. So that just goes to show sometimes, Tony, you may be able to throw around more money than WWE because you're dumb. I mean, we know what your salary is. Like the raw salary, like most of the show's salaries is roughly in the $40 to $50 million range for those two shows, where yours like sitting at $120 million a year. So
right,
it out, but
and half of that's Sasha or Mercedes.
But anyways, nonetheless, sometimes more money doesn't mean you don't use your talent correctly, and eventually they're gonna be like, well, yeah, I'm making all this money, and even Meltzer said this, Sean Ross, everyone said it's like, yeah, you pay all the money you want, but eventually guys are gonna be like, hey, yo, what the fuck?
Ricky Starks.
Like it's cool to begin with. Like you're making all this money, then all of a sudden you realize you're not even doing anything. So
it's great at first. You get paid all this money.
What happens when you don't want to use me anymore and you don't pay me the money anymore, and I haven't done anything in 5 years, and who's going to use me then?
Yep. I get why they want it out. I don't know if we had an update or if anybody's had an update. I haven't seen any on when Phoenix's contract actually does end. Is it the whole year?
I want to say I think Penta might appear on WWE next week.
Even Triple H hinted at that. He might. Triple H words were, next week we got who is it? Chad Gable versus a mystery opponent. I think you all know who it is. So it's going to be Penta. And people were mad. People were saying, look at you, Penta. You went to WWE and you've already been buried in the shuffle. Listen, the smart move was not having Penta debut on that show. It was the smart move in my eyes.
Well, no, hold So this, yeah, exactly. Like, think about it. He
Too much going on.
He debuts on a show where The Rock is on it. You got Seth versus Punk. You got
Cena,
John Cena. You got Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan. You got Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre. Which, you know what, glorified squash match, but I still liked it. And you have Solo and Roman. Like, do you really want to be debuting on that show?
Undertaker was
in
there.
A tag match with it's cool. You're with Rey Mysterio, but in a tag match now you get, and there was a mid-card match. It's like, well, actually Gable can cook and Penta can cook, so this match
is gonna
be a 5-star fucking banger.
Hook. It's gonna be a banger.
And it's a singles match, so Penta gets to be in there the whole time and showcase what Penta does.
And just be Penta.
You don't know Penta, like, don't love WWE fans. They watch Raw, they watch SmackDown. That's all they know. They don't even know half the talent that comes from NXT. That's fine. Sure. That's what you watch. That's what you watch. If you don't know who Penta is, or you haven't seen what Penta does, Chad Gable's going to bring the best out of Penta right off the hop.
Penta's going to show y'all something. He's fantastic.
WWE's extremely smart in doing that because they're putting Penta with a very experienced wrestler, where Penta doesn't have, like, if he's nervous or anything about putting on, he doesn't have to carry anything. Like, Gable will get him through that match. Any nerves? Not that I think Penta will have any nerves. This guy is a lucha fucking legend. He still might just be a part of the greatest match of all time.
Yeah, you say that all the time. That's your match. It's one you always look back on. And it was an AEW match, so Arcade doesn't fully hate our AEW people.
Fuck, they have a lot of banner matches. It's just their shit overall sucks.
There you go.
The flow of the shit. I mean, you can put on banner matches all day, but I mean, if you're going to do that, I'd rather just find those matches and watch the match, and that's it.
It's what we did forever.
If that's what you tune in for wrestling for, is just for matches, and that's what AW Mark's claim. It's like, oh, at least we get like 7 matches a show. It's like, that's great, but 3 of them may be fantastic, 1 might be okay, and 3 might suck. Well, I don't want to sit through those okay matches and those shitty ones for having no kind of story or anything to keep me entertained, just to watch 3 really good matches. I'll find those on the internet, watch the matches, and enjoy the shit out of them.
Yep.
Like next week, I'm going to watch the Omega match. That's all I'm going to watch.
Yeah. I don't know if
it's not even against a great opponent. And not that Brian Cage is better or anything, but I mean, Brian Cage is Brian Cage. He's not Gabe Kidd. He's not Ospreay. I
can't wait till we talk about that Gabe Kidd match.
Anyways, nonetheless, yeah, I said it. Anywho, Baron Corbin was in attendance at AEW's World End event. He announced on New Year's Day that he is free of his contract. If Baron Corbin goes to AEW, good.
Yeah, he'll get lost in the shuffle.
So what? Make a check, make your money. He's done his career, man.
Oh yeah.
It's at the point now where if you can collect the check and show up just show up and not do anything. I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
If you're a young guy, that's not good. But if you're a guy and you're near, I think he's in his 40s, or damn near close, you're at the tail end of your career. You're not one of those guys that's going to be, wrestling into your 50s and be popular. So
he is 40.
Yeah. So
he's had what do you think about Baron Corbin? He's had a hell of a just run as a human being, to be real. A boxer, Gold Glove boxer. He didn't play in the regular season of the NFL, but he was on NFL teams. He was here in Indianapolis for a little bit. And then he became a professional wrestler. And I mean, he had a good run.
Yeah, he was popular there for a hot minute. He was using a lot of shit. So, I mean, he had his run.
Yep.
Bravo. Go. If AEW signs you, go make your check, man.
Yep.
It is reported that New Japan Pro Wrestling wanted to feature more AEW talent at Wrestle Dynasty, but many were already scheduled for Collision that same day, and talent scheduled for the event are expected to leave January 1st. So Tony Khan said to New Japan, "It's like, yeah, no, they're going to be on Collision, so we can't send them." And I'm pretty sure, like Chris Statlander, Anyways, nonetheless, Tony Khan said it sounds like, hey, you got a chance to go to Japan and wrestle, but we're going to keep you here in the States and wrestle on Collision.
That AEW Collision did 345,000 with a 0.09.
Yeah, good job. Good job. Good job, Tony. Keep your talent away from going to Japan. Not that it would have mattered. That show, Dynasty, was not good. According to WWE sources, the theme that will go into the Netflix era will be to generate stories that come off as more authentic and not scripted. This has WWE talent really focused on getting a feel for the crowds and going with their gut with what's given to them by the creative team.
Cool. Let them cook.
Just don't still have a kind of direction we're going to go, and don't let it be like AEW where they go out and just say stupid shit and you're like, what the fuck?
I think just say, I mean, what they told Punk and Rollins to do on the last episode of Raw on the USA Network. Here's what we want you to accomplish. Go figure it out.
Yeah. Not just go out there and just talk.
Yeah. Get to this point.
You'll get a Rock promo at NXT if you tell them to do that.
Oof. Oof. The Rock promo had good moments, but it was also like, all right.
he meandered. Yeah. He meandered. It was like he did not have any plan at all.
I think he just wanted to come out there and say the words of, you're being too mean to Cody, and then you can't be nice to Cody. Just sit back and enjoy the ride. The Rock's going to take your candy ass on. That's what he wanted to say.
Gabe Kidd's deal with New Japan will expire soon. It is reported. New Japan does want to retain his services.
You retain him.
Yeah, you retain his services. Gabe Kidd is the future for you guys.
That Gabe Kidd is a good building block. He's not a, he's not an Omega, he's not an Ospreay, he's not an Okada, but he is legit. And if the match with Kenny Omega doesn't say, I mean, that match, oh God, I'm keep talking about it, but oh boy, man. Gabe Kidd is the truth.
Yo, Gabe Kidd. Omega can put on a 5-star match with a 90-year-old kid. But that being said, Gabe Kidd did his job in that match beautifully.
We get to watch Gabe Kidd here at Wrestle at Battle of the Valley. He is on that card. He is taking on Tomorrow Ishii.
Ooh. Fuck, I can't wait to see the retirement match, man. Those girls, I feel like those girls are going to do some crazy
Sumi Sakai retirement match. It's Team Sakai, Sumi Sakai, Evil, and Sho taking on Team Hiromu Takahashi, Mayu Iwatani, and Yuka Suzuki. So, yeah, Sakai's got her and 2 guys, and Takahashi's got himself and 2 girls. So, I think that, they're just going to cook.
AJ Francis signed a new deal with TNA.
Evil is definitely gonna fucking pull out a wild ass move on either Watani or Sakai. He's gonna do some wild shit on one of the shits, guaranteed.
AJ Francis signed a new deal with TNA. It is expected to go through 2025, but not into 2026. So it's just a little 1-year deal.
He's found his home. I think good for him.
Randy Orton is expected to be back on WTV by the time the Royal Rumble comes around at the latest. So either leading up into it or he'll appear at the Royal Rumble.
Wonder if he was just taking a little break.
Probably. He's old. He deserves it too. The guy fucking
That first stare down with Cena is gonna give me chills.
Yeah, man. I don't get the same feeling from it because I didn't see their fucking history, but yeah,
go back and watch the live stream of the debut on Raw when Cena came out. RK was kind of like he was you're paying attention, but you were also just like, and I'm just fucking over here like, yeah. What are you talking about?
Cena's not my guy. I'm sorry, man.
Well, you didn't. I'm not. It's not a bad thing. You just weren't watching during the height of Cena.
I mean, I'm pretty sure only thing that I remember from Cena, like ingrained in my brain, is the match with CM Punk at Money in the Bank. It's the only thing.
Right, because you came back and you were watching for Punk. Yeah.
We talked about it. Jade Cargill. She has been seen at the WWE Performance Center working out. It is thought that she may be back in time for WrestleMania and be running a program with her attacker. PW Insider continues to go with the stance that Jade was never injured to begin with, and she has been just working on outside projects and on vacation.
Okay. I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't know if you follow Jade on Instagram. She posted a very, I would say, maybe not safe for work picture that we probably can't show on the stream. But I'll send it to you. I'm pretty sure she's full nude, but you can't like see anything. but like she's like covered.
So in other words, you got excited.
Blood. I mean, Jade's fantastic, but I'm just saying it's a really cool picture, but it's also like, what are you? Okay.
The report on the future of tribute to the troops was reported earlier this year or late last year that they were canceling the show. Is that WWE wants to get back to the roots of it, whether that means taking it overseas again or at the very least holding it on military bases in the U.S.
So they're not canceling it; they're just kind of
going back to what it was.
Yeah,
not like have it as a show or a pay-per-view.
I loved when they did that, like when they were on like a big, ship out in the middle, or it was docked, obviously, or on a military base. And then I remember playing the video games. You could unlock the Tribute for the Troops arena. That's pretty cool. USA.
It has been reported that I watched WrestleMania 21 today when John Legend did the America the Great or whatever. God Bless America or whatever.
America the Beautiful or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, whatever. And afterwards, everybody's just going, USA, USA. It's like, holy fuck, guys.
RK hates the USA chant.
Well, you guys just say it for no reason.
We're patriotic as fuck, bro. Chill.
It's like, oh, that little kid fell down. USA, USA.
That's not even
USA.
close. Not even close. Do you
remember
that?
USA.
Do you remember when the United States military killed Osama bin Laden? And on, I think it was Monday Night Raw, where John Cena took the microphone and announced it. And honestly, like, it was like a USA moment for sure. Like, we killed Osama bin Laden. But the way Cena like delivered it to the crowd on the mic, people were like, "This motherfucker's saying it like he's the one that killed Osama bin Laden."
Only thing I remember vividly was after the 9/11 attacks, JBL on the SmackDown coming out and giving that speech that JBL gave afterwards, basically like going, "We will not, bow to terrorists and shit," and just like all like patriotic. I was just like, holy fuck, that dude. I wanted to say USA at that fucking point.
I'm playing this just because, and I'm sorry, it was at Extreme Rules. It was a pay-per-view. And just the way he says it, people were like,
play the video, we're gonna get flagged.
Why would we get flagged? It's a YouTube video. It's a YouTube video.
Yeah, but it's of WWE.
And it's 10 seconds. You can play 10-second clips.
Okay, fuck, go ahead.
And compromise to a permanent end, Osama bin Laden.
Oh yeah, that motherfucker got him.
People were like, did John Cena kill Osama bin Laden? He was a Marine.
Yeah, so was The Miz.
I watched the fuck out of the Marine movie, by the way. I loved that movie. It was so bad, but as like a younger youth, I loved that movie.
I thought Mr. Nanny was good, just because it was Hulk Hogan.
Fair enough.
It's been reported that Becky Lynch has signed a new contract with the WWE. Sorry, AEW, then she's not going there.
Oh, she was going. She was going.
No, not. I don't even think the thought even like I'm pretty sure she's never put the three letters together in a sentence once in her life to even begin to think about what AEW does. Sources say that her return will be pretty immediate and will factor heavily into high-level WrestleMania plans. Dave Meltzer reported that AEW is receiving $3.6 million per week on its new media rights deal. So there is expected to be a lot more aspects of spending money now that these checks are starting to come in. A lot of marks, and I mean a lot because I saw a lot of this, is that they took this number from Dave and started misreporting it as the WWE deal was bringing in 3.6 million viewers per Dynamite. It's like, read the report. 3.6. We're getting 3.6 million viewers. No, you guys did not jump 3.1 million viewers in a week. I'm sorry.
You just proved that AEW March just read the numbers, like the 664K. The WWE rolling at 664K.
Go look at how many households percentage Netflix is in the States, and then look at how many household percentage that HBO Max is in the States. And actually, that graph, HBO Max is at the bottom of that graph. They're at the bottom. They're like 1% of households in the States, where Netflix is like 13% of households.
Netflix isn't even number one, I don't think. I think it was YouTube, maybe. Was number one?
YouTube, I don't know.
Did you send me that graph?
No, you sent it to me. But whatever, it doesn't really matter. HBO Max does not have nearly the same viewers that
No,
Netflix
they
has.
don't. They don't. I want to find that graph now.
But anyways, the big thing here is they saw the 3.6 million number and just assumed that was how many viewers were for the first Dynamite on Max, and it wasn't. It was 550,000.
Just fucking run with it. Run with it.
Another one that sent man, AEW marks, they make my news. They really do. My news would not exist for these dumb fucks. It was reported that both Beth Phoenix and Samantha Irvin were both backstage at a recent Dynamite taping. This led to AEW fans thinking this means both will be signing with AEW very soon. Could it possibly be anything to do with Edge and Rick being on the show that evening? Also, like to point out that Samantha Irvin has a complete no compete with the WWE that prevents her from appearing on any combat sports programming.
Okay.
Like, she can't do anything because she broke her contract with WWE.
Interesting. Okay. Which she didn't want to, does she?
Huh? No, I don't think she does. But nonetheless, fans, AEW marks, all you have. She ain't doing nothing because she can't. Unless Tony wants to pay that big old fucking lawsuit that will come her way.
Also, I'm going to try and do a plug again real quick to see if we can get a deal. Pro Wrestling Crate, as you can see, me and RK are wearing shirts. They were in the last Pro Wrestling Crate. Did you see who is featured for the next one?
No, I don't look at that. I want to be surprised.
Oh.
I just ruined your moment.
I'm telling you anyway. Kenny Omega, Godfather, Roddy Piper, Orange Cassidy, the Outrunners, and more.
Sweet. That's actually good.
Did
you hear that the Bucks at one point wanted to be squashed by the Outrunners for the tag titles?
I told you that. Remember?
No, I don't remember.
I told you that.
I read it today, though.
Oh, I told you that forever ago.
Yeah, I'm sure you did tell me. I just don't listen to you a lot of times and tell me stupid shit.
All right, I guess I'll go fuck myself.
You can. Put it on stream and I'll get us views. No, actually, no, I probably would.
How else are you supposed to? Yeah, we get views in like the wrong way.
Top Rope Renegades goes OnlyFans.
Subscribe to our OnlyFans.
You get all of this plus more.
Not a whole lot more. Just
Jesus Christ. Wrestling Observer newsletter. Once again, flip-flops on The Rock at WrestleMania 41. They are now reporting that The Rock will at WrestleMania 41 in some capacity.
That's not what they said.
Wasn't appearing, and the week before might appear, and
they need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, if The Rock's obviously The Rock's gonna.
The Rock proved Monday and Tuesday that he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Literally on Tuesday, you can see it.
He can talk about nothing for 12 minutes, and they're gonna let him.
He can go, "Tahoo!" and "I love you too," and "I got goosebumps on my arm," and figure out what he's gonna say.
The new theme song for AEW is indeed "I'm So Excited," and it was not a one-off debut for Max. This is to put it lightly. This has raised some eyebrows in the IWC as being an interesting choice moving forward.
The fact they did that in the IWC, which I hate you, but I love you at the same time. Started making their own versions of it with like, "It's raining men, hallelujah." It's rain. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Oh man.
I feel this goes to show that Tony Khan can't take any criticism because he just saw all these like, what the fuck And he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm doubling down on it. We're going to use it for sure. There's no question about it. It's like weird choice for a wrestling song.
Why?
Like
did
first off,
Tony,
nobody's really all that excited to watch Dynamite. And second off, what the fuck?
Did Tony go, WWE's using a lot of rappers and stuff for theirs, so we're gonna go the polar opposite.
Rappers, hard rock, metal. Let's just go 80s disco. You ever see The Martian? He has to listen to disco music the whole time because that's all that's up there, and he wants to fucking murder himself. Well,
I'm so excited. Like, I thought it was fake.
That's actually one of the songs in the movie, actually, and he's like, "I'm not excited. I'm not excited at all."
I genuinely thought it was fake. I had to go find like other like sources and actually go to AEW and see if that was legit, and it was legit. And I was like, "You're joking me right now. This is where we're at now."
This is where they're at. Yeah.
To be fair, on certain parts of the song, when like certain things are said, it matches the video package. Like I'll give him that credit, but the song choice is just so wrong.
It's out there. It's just it does not resonate wrestling at all.
It was for the sickos.
Yeah, that is. Says. I've heard that a lot lately. That's what the fans call them in AEW.
Well, that's what Tony Khan called them. He said our wrestling product is, for the sickos. You don't remember that from? Well, you wouldn't because you weren't around.
I would actually have to. I would have actually. Okay, I'm not. Look, I would have never known AEW even existed if it wasn't for CM Punk. I'm sorry. I wouldn't have even known the fucking product existed.
Mm-hmm. And then me saying, let's watch AEW. Yeah, that's on me.
Well, no, I knew that before. But I'm just saying, had I not met you and CM Punk never went to AEW, I probably would have never even fucking known about
it. When the company was formed, AEW, Tony Khan, one of his
honestly, Kurt is the one who kind of turned me into a fucking fed. Honestly, because before I just watched wrestling and enjoyed it, but this motherfucker is like, let's fucking talk about it and then dive into the deep shit on it. And now here I am, fucking
35 episodes,
Joe Hendry, and fucking bitching about AEW 24/7.
35 episodes in. Arcade's got a Joe Hendry shirt on. He's got a laptop in his fucking lap, going through his notes. What have I made this man? He just likes to watch.
Just watch this for fun. Now I can't have fun anymore. It's a job, but it's still fun. I would love this to be my job. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Get all your friends watching us.
Yeah.
And if you don't, whatever. We're still going to do this for our... I actually haven't looked at YouTube in the last little bit. I don't know how many subs we are, but we keep getting more somehow, so keep it up. It has been confirmed that Royal Rumble 2026 will be held in Saudi Arabia. Cue and I'm talking every fucking anti-WWE, anti-Punk person in the world, pulling out a past tweet from CM Punk about his thoughts on WWE holding events in Saudi Arabia. It has been reported that, yes, CM Punk will not be appearing at any event in Saudi Arabia anytime soon, and there is absolutely no heat whatsoever for it either.
So guess what? If that's true, he won't be in the Royal Rumble. He won't be at the Royal Rumble. It's whatever.
Yeah. It's just like everyone wants to pull out that one tweet. That one fucking tweet. And we all know it's like go to Saudi Arabia and suck on that blood-covered diamond dick or whatever the fuck it is.
I don't like that. I'll be honest, I don't like the fact they're doing the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. I get money talks, but like at the same time, I don't like it. Because they're gonna do the men's Royal Rumble match, the women's Royal Rumble match, and like somebody was like, all the women are gonna look like Power Rangers. I'm like,
hey, some of those outfits at the Liv Morgan usually.
She does bring it.
What?
She brings it.
Liv Morgan actually is like the most enthusiastic about her costumes over there because she always does something out there.
Yeah, but when Saudi Arabia Rumble rolls around, my idea and thinking is Punk might be a champion by then, and they'll just hold him off from that show.
100%. But there's no heat. Everyone wants to bring it up that, oh, look, this guy, he's in the company and they're going to Saudi and they're doing this and he hates them. It's like, yeah, he has an opinion on it, but Saudi Arabia, it's very vocal about it. So what?
Hey, and by the way, just to say, so was Sami Zayn for a while, but
yeah, that was because of religious reasons.
Yep.
But Saudis since mended fences with the Muslims. So, anyways,
Gotcha.
nonetheless, it has been reported that SmackDown will be using underutilized talent more frequently moving forward with its 3-hour format. Speaking on the 3-hour format, it has been rumored that it will go back to 2 hours at some point this year. I would assume that will all depend on how well the 3 hours is received.
Let's just be honest here. 3 hours. I said it in the intro. We watched, it drags. And to be fair, we hadn't watched a 3-hour show besides pay-per-views in a long time. Went to Raw, went to 2 hours. I think we grew accustomed.
Raw
to
did not feel like 3 hours this week.
Well, no, that was different. So 3 hours can be a drag sometimes, but I trust WWE to make it entertaining most weeks.
I think they'll figure it out, but I'm sure they're just testing the waters on this, and if it doesn't work out, they'll go back to 2 hours.
Well,
if it works out, they'll stick at 3.
In their defense, now USA Network only has SmackDown. So, you've lost Raw now. You lost NXT earlier this year. You just got SmackDown. So 3 hours of programming,
Well, everyone's going to be losing everything once they start to realize how great this Netflix thing is.
Oh, yeah. I can see coming, I don't know when the deal runs out with USA Network and the Peacock deal for that matter.
The Peacock deal ends in 2026.
When those deals end, I think everything WWE will be on Netflix worldwide. Everything.
Yeah. I think Netflix is already seeing the benefit of it.
Yeah, it's great. And it's going to get better, and I can't wait. Also, real quick on the Netflix thing, shout out to the non-USA markets, by the way. Shout out to RK for his Netflix stream because no commercials is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and as soon as it goes off air live, it's right on Netflix, already edited with no commercials. Not even the little filler stuff they add into our stuff. It just cuts, done.
Yep, it's beautiful.
It is reported that Goldberg will be on the 27th of January episode of Raw, and the current idea is still to get a match with Gunther at some point this year.
27th. That's when Roman's coming back to Raw too.
Yeah.
Or 21st. I may be wrong.
27th.
Okay.
Or actually, the 27th might just be a WWE 2K25 release video.
Okay. Yeah, they're saying that Roman is the cover star for that.
Yeah. Some names that have been reported of having cameos in Happy Gilmore 2 include Becky Lynch. Her part has been filmed and involved her part of a rival group of golfers that will also feature Reggie Bush.
Hey! Love Reggie Bush. I love Reggie Bush.
MJF and Bad Bunny are confirmed to have parts in the movie as well.
MJF's actually in the first trailer. I didn't realize it at first, but when they all the people huddle around in a circle, if you pause it, you can see MJF's in the circle.
Yeah, at least his part's not going to get cut like it was in the wrestlers or the Golden Iron Claw. The Iron Claw.
Yeah, and I don't know. He was in the Iron Claw for 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah. I think he had a bigger part, though, originally.
Yeah. Seth Rollins' part got cut, by the way, as well. I don't know if you saw that.
From Captain America, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He talked about that on the Chris Van Fleet interview. Yeah.
It is reported after the poor reception to Hulk Hogan's appearance on the Raw debut on Netflix. Moving forward, he will be used for pre-taped commercials and documentary interviews, with live appearances being very unlikely.
Yeah, listen, that was a bad move for WWE. Let's not get it twisted here. Hulk Hogan is a legend. We're not doing this if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan. We can agree on that. Hulk Hogan is who he is.
Hey, you know what? There's consequences to saying the stuff that he said was, and he's never even tried to step back from it or apologize or anything.
Mark Henry was the one that said that, I think. But yeah, he hasn't apologized for his racial comments, his stupid comments he's made. And let's also just be honest. They were in California. And
oh my God, I saw a video. There's a video of after the segment. There's a video on WWE.com or whatever of him drinking a real American beer with Rey Mysterio, and the first comment was like, "I heard that Hulk Hogan said something racist when Rey Mysterio walked off."
Probably. Listen, he was gonna get booed. They were obviously we just mentioned all the comments he's made, and he's never apologized for them. And he is a massive, massive Donald Trump supporter. You were in very, very, very liberal California, and an LA part of California at that. He was going to get booed no matter what. I think that was a bad move, putting him out there. But teach their own. Hulk Hogan's a legend in the wrestling industry. Not the greatest person in the world. People were saying, I saw something there where they were like, we'll never support Hulk Hogan, don't care about his career, blah, 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 terrible person. Are the same people that will say, well, Chris Benoit did some bad stuff, but he was really a great wrestler. Both can be true.
Yeah. Chris Benoit was a fantastic wrestler and he had a good career, and then he did something that's absolutely horrible, and he should forever, Yeah. Anyways, let's not dwell on stupid shit like that too long. It is reported that Hogan was surprised and disappointed he got booed, but apparently brushed it off pretty quickly.
Yeah. I think I also read that he kind of expected maybe a negative reaction. And I also read something that he pitched him doing it more and becoming a heel. And I was like, I don't know how true that was.
You don't lean into that. You don't lean into that.
He just comes out the next week just in a white hood.
I mean, Kurt would be cheering.
Easy. Easy. Chill.
I'm kidding.
Chill.
Bad joke. Oh, fuck AW. I love your fans so much.
There's no such thing as a bad joke. No such thing as a bad joke, just bad delivery. I heard a comedian say that once.
I'm fucking hilarious. Anyways, AW fans, continue to pay my bills. Thank you very much. JoJo Offerman appeared on Collision Ring of Honor tape doing ring announcing. May not be a one-off, and it is thought she may do more with AW moving forward. Some people took to Twitter to call out Ricochet for being a liar by saying that Samantha Irvin is not coming to AEW. JoJo and Samantha, not the same person, people. Totally different people. Yes, they are both
They're both mixed women or light-skinned. These are the same people that were on Hulk Hogan's ass, probably, for his comments, but y'all are the dumbasses making those comments. So,
seriously, I must have seen 7 or 8 tweets from different people going, quoting the Ricochet tweet saying that she was not coming to AEW, and then saying, "You're a fucking liar." It's like
Samantha posted a video of her and JoJo singing karaoke, and she was like, "Just so you know, we're not the same."
Anyways,
happy birthday to
fucking
Samantha,
AEW fans. AEW fans continue to pay the bills. Thank you. You guys make this so much more enjoyable because just fucking watch your show and enjoy it and stop giving a fuck about everything else.
Agreed. I assume with you putting the laptop down, you are finished with the news, RK.
That's all I got.
I got a couple things, just some stuff to look forward to this weekend. New Japan's Battle in the Valley. We have a new strong survivor, by the way, in the name of Zane J. No longer our boy Matt Vandergriff. He'll be taking on Viento. TMDK.
Moving up in the world. He's moving up in the world. He's on the main card.
Nope, I just realized he is not on the main card. It is a kickoff match. But he's not in the Survivor anymore. He's in a tag match with Fred Ross.
Okay, well, he's slowly moving up. People.
Taking on Shade Haste and Bad Dude Tito. We have an elimination match that was announced. Mina Shirakawa, Hanako, Maika, Viva Vaughn, Anna Jay, Trisha Dore, Azumi, and
Viva Vaughn just signed a contract with AEW.
Yep, Johnny Robbie. They're having an elimination match. A special match has been announced. The current.
Speaking of signings, sorry, I got one more signing, one more piece of news. The Von Erichs have officially signed with AEW as of today.
Okay. They were showing them a lot of love, so that's cool. Special match announced. The current New Japan World Champion Zack Sabre Jr. will be taking on Hechicero. We talked about it a second ago. The Sumi Sakai retirement match. Team Sakai, as I went through. Sky Evil Show taking on Team Hiromu.
If there was a man on this planet that could put on a more boring match than fucking Zack Sabre Jr., I would be shocked.
The strong openweight tag team championships are on the line. Jarrell Nelson and Royce Isaac of the West Coast Wrecking Crew taking on Roppongi Revice, Rocky Romero, and Yo. Strong openweight championship, Gabe Kidd and is taking on Tomohiro Ishii. New Japan World Television Champion, the new champion, crowned at Wrestle Kingdom 19, by the way. El Phantasmo will be defending against Jeff Cobb. That match I'm looking forward to. Never Openweight Championship, Konosuke Takeshita is taking on Kushida. Very interesting match looking there. And the main event is slated to be the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, El Desperado defending against Taiji Ishimori. That is Battle at the Valley coming up this weekend. And RK, I wanted to talk about real quick the card for TNA's Genesis taking place January 19th has basically been finalized here. We have Josh Alexander taking on Mike Santana. Jordan Grace taking on Tessa Blanchard. There were reports that Jordan Grace didn't really want to work with Tessa Blanchard. And just so you know, this is Jordan Grace's last contracted match with TNA, leading, I think, all of us to speculate she'll be in the Royal Rumble, RK.
Who? Jordan Grace? Yeah,
yeah.
100%.
We have a TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championship, Spitfire taking on Ash by Elegance and Heather by Elegance. TNA X Division Championship, Moose defending against Ace Austin. TNA Knockout Championship Clockwork Orange match. I don't know what that is, RK, but we'll find out when we tune in. Masha Slamovich taking on Rosemary. The TNA World Tag Team Championships, the Hardys are defending against the Rascals. Looking forward to that one. And the main event, RK TNA World Heavyweight Championship match, Nick Nimitz defending his title against the man on our shirts, clap, clap, we believe, Joe Hendry. Those are the two pay-per-views to look forward to coming very, very soon. Other than that, the only other one following after that will be really Royal Rumble, RK. I don't know if there's any other if any of those pay-per-views besides Royal Rumble, obviously, you're looking forward to. I assume you're looking forward to Battle in the Valley, though. And even TNA Genesis, maybe.
TNA Genesis should be good. I started watching. I had TNA on this evening.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have it. You have it now.
Yep.
Other than that, I have no news to report. Just checking my stuff real quick. Apparently, Matt Riddle hasn't been paid from his appearance on TNA Turning Point. That's something. Other than that, I think we're good to go. Lock in, ladies and gentlemen. We have a lot to still get to. Recaps from the SmackDown's first 3-hour show in probably a very long time. Wrestle Kingdom 19, AEW's Dynasty, the Raw debut on Netflix, and NXT's New Year's Evil. We'll be right back in just a second with all the recaps and reaction from those shows. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 35 of This Week in Wrestling with the Top Rope Renegades. It's time to get into our weekly shows breakdown. A little different this week. We're starting with SmackDown and running through to NXT on Tuesday, New Year's Evil. Stay tuned to the episode this coming weekend, where we will break down the SmackDown episode from this Friday, January 10th, as well as New Japan's Battle in the Valley and our awards show from 2024. Our top awards will be given out. Myself will give my award. RK will give his. We'll have a good old time on episode number 36. But right now, episode 35, let us get into it. It is the SmackDown recap from January 3rd. 3 hours long. We'll kick things off with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes comes out. And by the way, Blue Mat, a new change here. It was a topic that I kept bringing up the entire time, according to RK, that the mat was blue. And it had to grow on me. It had to grow on me. And it did. I did. I do like it. Cody talks about how everything is about to change in WWE with the move to Netflix. But he is not as excited because he's not cleared to wrestle because of what Kevin Owens did to him. But he will be ready to go for the Royal Rumble. But Drew McIntyre comes out to interrupt him. McIntyre says he hugs Cody, by the way, awkwardly, and he appreciates what Cody has done for the business. So this is the best era we've been in, and a lot of that is due to Cody. Drew thinks that Cody needs someone to watch his back. Cody says that he wants to talk about how they're kindred spirits, but he doesn't believe what Drew is saying. Cody offers to fight. McIntyre goes to leave and says Rhodes needs to watch his back, and as those words leave his mouth, Kevin Owens jumps Cody from behind, and they brawl. Officials break it up. McIntyre and Rhodes being an interesting idea down the line. And by the way, I switched my readings of articles. What are you shaking your head about?
Oh, cage match.
Cage match.
Yeah.
What about?
So AEW marks are running with cage matches rating on this most previous Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
They're like, oh, how the tables have turned. Look at the rating of Raw from Monday night. And it's a 5.21 on cage match. They rate out of 10. It's done by votes, user votes. That's how they rate the show. And as of right now, there's 154 total votes.
And you know what's funny about that? The people that actually create an account for cage match and do those are most likely AEW fanboys.
If that's where you're getting your ballot info from, 154 people voting, and you get that. It'd be like me creating a website. Me and Kurt are the only ones that can vote, and we vote both 100%, 10 out of 10 for Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and 0 out of 10 for AEW, and then show it to the world and go, look at these numbers, you fucking idiots.
To be fair, when we do the awards show this weekend, it's kind of our choices, but it's personal, so whatever. Anyway, we opened up SmackDown like with Cody Rhodes.
154 people does not make a valid.
It does not. No, it does not. What do you think about the open to a SmackDown with Cody, Drew, and Kevin with the attack?
Hey,
and
McIntyre was only speaking the truth. He tried to warn Cody.
He did.
He said, watch your back. Kevin Owens about to attack him. McIntyre to help Cody. Cody's like a big old fuck you to McIntyre, and he gets fucking clocked. I was not expecting Kevin Owens or Drew McIntyre in that promo at all, actually, honestly. Not in that way, anyways. I was half expecting Kevin Owens, but more like a confrontation, not a... Nonetheless, it was perfect. They did a great job, great opening. I was surprised. I wasn't expecting what they did. It was a different way to go with it. Shinsuke
Nakamura versus Andrade is the first match of the night.
And can we talk about how McIntyre and Rhodes down the road just seems like it should happen?
And I do want to say, RK, because of you, I'm reading the recaps from 411 Mania now. We have graduated from the school of Fightful because I want better from the reporting. So we're going to try this one out. I'm not going to... And by the way, when I read these, I don't read them word for word. I try and keep it up and remember what I did.
You could just do your job and be the guy.
To be fair, in my defense, it was a bit difficult. It's been a bit difficult, especially for Raw and SmackDown this week. Watching it live on the live stream, there's so much going on that I'm focused on that I'm not taking notes in my Microsoft Word. To be fair, this is the only defense I got. Anyway, Shinsuke Nakamura Andrade. We kicked things off with the first match of the night here. Nakamura's got to pick up the win with a Kinshasa. I will say Andrade is still one of my favorites to watch in the ring. He's got a couple moves that I just enjoy seeing. That spinning elbow he pulls off, like the fake lariat to the elbows, clean. But Shinsuke picks up the win here. It was not for the title, of course. But what do you think of the opening match here?
I was half expecting Andrade to win this match just because it wasn't for the title.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, I read something, and I think you're reaching on this, but they said the only reason that they put the title on Nakamura was because they knew he was going to Japan and they wanted to showcase the title over in Japan, and that's the only reason Nakamura won the title. And LA Knight's just going to win it back right away, and it's just going to be another pointless run for Nakamura and the WWE. And it's just like, why do you gotta be so cynical about everything? One, you had a way better program out of LA Knight chasing that title, and not just for a couple weeks. I think you can run it out to WrestleMania and make something out of it. Two, Nakamura is absolutely fantastic, and I think putting the title on him is a good choice. You can't have the title on the same person all the time, and sometimes title reigns only last a couple weeks. I don't know. I think everybody just digs into the whole Triple H only books his buddies in good lights way too much. Triple H is going to do what's best for the company and the best for the storylines.
Let him do his job and let him cook. LA Knight comes out to take out Nakamura afterwards, saying he's coming for the U.S. title. He'll be there for Nakamura every time Nakamura turns around. So I'm 4-1 Mania reporting. So yeah, we're getting. It was announced LA Knight Shinsuke Nakamura for the January 10th episode of SmackDown. So tune in to that. Pretty Deadly is in the back with Apollo Crews when Legado del Fantasma comes in. Legado is not happy with Pretty Deadly lying about them attacking the Street Profits last week. Things get physical. Aldis comes in and he goes to have a chat with Pretty Deadly. We come back from a commercial where Aldis is talking to Pretty Deadly when DIY come in to suggest that Pretty Deadly helped them against the Motor City Machine Guns tonight. They didn't blatantly say that. Their comment was, it'd be really good if we retain these titles tonight with a big old hey, wink, wink. Pretty Deadly being kind of involved with the tag titles. Are you a fan of this, or what are you thinking? I don't know how you feel.
You got to keep the tag team division interesting. Yeah. They're at least trying to do something now with the tag team division and not just let it stagnate.
Yeah.
So,
next match, Michin taking on Piper and Nevin. Chelsea Green, the first ever U.S. Women's Champion. She is the longest reigning. She is the shortest reigning. She is the most best looking. She is the worst best looking. Whatever you want to call it. But anyway, Chelsea Green, of course, there with Piper and Nevin. It was what Michael Cole was trying to play up. She's what did she say? She's the best looking United States champion all time. Michael's the worst looking too. If you put it that way.
Well, that's not what he said. He said worst best looking. I'm like that.
Yeah. I got a decent little match here, which sees Michin win with an eat defeat to beat Piper. You mentioned it during while we were watching that, man. Piper's actually, I don't think she gets enough love. She's really good in the ring, as is Michin. But what did you think?
I've said that more than once about Piper.
I'm aware of that.
Fantastic.
But you said it while we were watching it, so that's why I was bringing it up.
I did, but I've said it more than once.
I'm doing the job. What did you think of the match?
Michin's continues to be on a run. It's nice to see her getting this push. It's obviously setting up a rematch with Chelsea. Reports currently are that it will be at Saturday night's main event in January.
Okay, and that's when Chelsea won it. Saturday night's main event in December. Do you see Michin taking that title off of Chelsea, or are we going to see Chelsea hold it for a while?
No, I see Chelsea holding it for a while.
Agreed. We get Naomi hype video. She's challenging Nia Jax for the World Championship later in the show. Paul Heyman talks about Monday's tribal combat match between Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns. Heyman and Roman have trained and groomed Solo to be the next tribal chief. When the time was right, Solo was being made ready when Cody Rhodes caught lightning in a bottle and beat Reigns at WrestleMania. So saying Solo stole the Ulafala because he never earned it. Now Sikoa has brought in people for his new bloodline, including Jacob Fatu, who was not welcome outside the United States prison system. Q Solo coming to interrupt Heyman. It was a moment of Paul Heyman. What did he say? I'm literally crapping my pants right now. Because last time we were in the ring together at Madison Square Garden, you put me through a table in front of my children. Solo gets the mic and basically says he wants someone he can trust to hold the Ulafala during the tribal combat match. That if Roman is to beat him, that Paul Heyman will put it around Roman's neck and Solo will acknowledge him, but vice versa, that if Solo is to beat Roman, Paul Heyman will put it around Solo's neck and will acknowledge himself, Solo. Roman will acknowledge him as the tribal chief, and as well, Paul Heyman will be Solo's wise man going forward. What did you think of this segment here?
Paul Heyman continues to be one of the best storytellers in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
He can weave a tale like no other, and he just adds so much extra to something. Paul Heyman is a perfect example of a non-wrestler being absolutely crucial to what's going on in things.
Mm-hmm. We get Motor City Machine Guns video package saying they want their tag titles back. We get to that match. Motor City Machine Guns taking on DIY. We do not get an exact finish in this because there is a DQ that is called after a pretty interesting match of high-flying moves, hard-hitting moves. But yeah, they didn't have a winner or a loser in this match due to a disqualification. Legado del Fantasma chased Pretty Deadly around, and they kind of fell onto and caused the DQ. Besides the DQ part, RK, what did you think of this tag title match?
The match itself was whatever. The thing is that they're making their tag team division feel like something finally, and that's been always a very sour point in WWE is their tag team divisions. Pretty Deadly, Legado, DIY, Motor City Machine Guns. You're starting to see some storylines going to place, some fucking in battling going on, some making some kind of drama to the division, make it seem like the titles are, actually meaning something. And honestly, Motor City Machine Guns continue to prove that they are just absolutely incapable of putting on a bad match.
Very true. Nia Jax seen backstage, seeming a little bit worried that Tiffany Stratton is there. Candice LeRae reassures her and says, "I am here for you." Nia will be defending against Naomi in the main event. No, not even the main event. Sorry, it's not the main event match. Should have been. Anyway, Sami Zayn runs into Carmelo Hayes backstage, who is not happy with what happened with Braun Strowman. The Usos
the man who thinks he's him, but is only 5'7".
The Usos show up to have Sami's back and to kind of ward off Carmelo. Zayn goes to get ready, but Kevin Owens pops in to tell Jey Uso, "Hey, you should watch your back." Which, man, I thought in that moment, we both were like, well, Sami Zayn said he was going to get his gear. Sami's not going to be making this match. But he ends up
he's actually just grabbing his gear.
He legitimately was getting his gear. Cody Rhodes is seen leaving, but Nick Aldis stops him. Aldis wants Cody to put his hatred to Kevin Owens aside and think of the bigger picture. Cody isn't going to have that, because if he sees Kevin Owens or someone who even looks like Kevin Owens, he is dropping him on sight. Any comments on this moment here with Cody and Aldis?
I still want heel Cody so bad that I find it hard to believe as babyface Cody that when he threatens like this, that it's threatening.
Fair. I get what you're saying.
I don't know. It's good shit. I mean, this whole Kevin Owens Cody Rhodes thing is absolutely fantastic, and they can run with this for a good long while, and it's really good.
Please give us Homelander Cody Rhodes. I just need it, man. I need it. I think a lot of people would be okay with it too. The women's title match, Naomi, Nia Jax. The match itself was actually really freaking good. I was entertained the whole time. I thought it was one of Nia's best matches. And Naomi, by the way, is fantastic in the ring. Take nothing away from her. A lot of back and forth here. We get to the end where it seems like Tiffany Stratton, she does come out and that she may be cashing in, but the referee is distracted. She blasts Naomi with the briefcase. Nia hits the Annihilator and retains her title. Before we get to the aftermath, RK, the match itself, what did you think?
Fantastic match. Nia continues to just, I don't think she gets enough respect for what she's done since she's come back to the WWE. She's worked her ass off. She looks great. This match was fantastic.
Yep.
Naomi was fantastic. This match was really fucking good, as you said. The ending was, we're going to get to it here shortly, but I'm going to be very critical of WWE, and they fucked this woman's money in the bank up so badly. I did not give a fuck what happened next.
All right, fair enough. I disagree, and this is what it is. There was a moment where Bianca came into the ring. She kind of gets taken out a little bit. And it seems like, and Tiffany tells it, Nia, go get her, go get Bianca. And then Tiffany cracks Nia across the back with the briefcase, takes out Candice LeRae. Bianca gets up and hits the KOD on Nia Jax. Tiffany Stratton cashes in. She hits her moonsault for the 1, 2, 3. We have a new women's world champion, and is, as you can see at the bottom of your screen, RK, as he said, we don't have the renders yet of people with their titles, but Tiffany Stratton, new women's world champion. All right, go ahead. You didn't like the cash in and whatnot. Why is that?
Because they teased it for so long that I could care less at this point. And also, they did it in the middle of the fucking show. And they claimed that, it's to keep people on their toes. It's like, you fucking fake cash-ins for 20 years. Like, I mean, I'm over it.
I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, I disagree. Money in the Bank cash-ins, unless you're Drew McIntyre and say, if I win, I'm cashing in that night and actually doing it. Money in the Bank cash-ins are always teased and teased and teased.
Yeah, and that's why they usually suck.
Agreed. And I can agree with the point that Triple H is very bad at booking Money in the Bank briefcases. It has been a common theme across the IWC, and I do agree with it.
The Drew McIntyre cash-in was the greatest thing in a long time. Because he said he was going to win it, and he said he was going to use it, and he did.
The greatest cash-in of Money in the Bank of all time, there's two. It's Edge.
It's Seth Rollins.
It's clearly Seth Rollins, but Edge, he was like the first big one to do it at New Year's Revolution. That one was a good one. But Seth
CM
Rollins,
Punk.
Punk's was all right, I guess. Okay. It wasn't. I just, the Edge one sticks out more to me than probably Seth Rollins, because that is when we got the dawning of Edge as being called the ultimate opportunist, and I kind of like that thing with Edge.
Nonetheless, unless they can figure out better ways to book the Money in the Bank briefcase, it's going to continue to just be a stupid gimmick moving forward. I'm not a fan of it.
What about
all they do all they do every time is tease cash-ins for 22 years, and then it happens, and it's like, oh yeah, cool.
Beyond, I mean, the cash-ins are always teased when it's a heel that wins it, minus Drew. When a babyface wins it, they kind of just don't tease it; they just do it. I've noticed. And then in Brock Lesnar's case, you turn it into a boombox and you dance around the ring with it. That was an interesting time. I don't know if you remember that, but good times. Anyway, Tiffany Stratton, new women's champion. We got a video highlighting Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. Jacob Fatu wants the whole world to acknowledge Solo. And then LA Knight, as we said, we'll get a U.S. title shot next week. The main event is the Bloodline taking on Sami Zayn and the Usos. Sami and the Usos, of course, come through the crowd with Jay's entrance. And I will say, RK, the entrance of Jay Uso never gets old to me. It's just awesome. And they can do it because the arena is always fucking packed and it looks really cool.
It is a cool entrance. Just it's very long.
It's very long. Monday Night Raw. We set through the commercial break, and on our case feed it was live, so the entire commercial break was yeeting.
Well, Michael eating. and Pat
and think
Michael,
about
how do I get down from here?
Good shit. We'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, the finish comes where Jay Uso spears Fatu, hits the splash, but Solo spikes Jay from behind to give himself and the Bloodline the win. The match itself, RK, what did you think of the back and forth?
Man, I was falling asleep during this match. It was a long match, 22 minutes, and it was slow and methodical at the beginning, and it's 3 hours, and I was already pissed off with the Tiffany Stratton thing, and then we had a 22-minute Jey Uso entrance, and then the match was slow, and then like the last 7 minutes of this match, it just went fucking bonkers, and I was like, holy fuck, okay.
Drew McIntyre
it would have been a really bad match if it wasn't for the last 7 minutes.
And yeah, there was Drew interference, but yeah, you're right. The last 7 minutes kind of saved it. But yeah, that's a wrap on what happened on SmackDown. Any final thoughts before we move forward here?
Let's take away Money in the Bank briefcase matches already.
We're gonna go back to this screen here for the next two recaps. Wrestle Kingdom 19.
I don't think you had to tell people that, but okay.
Huh?
I believe in Kirk Gerald's.
No, you don't. You really don't. You really don't.
Yell at me. Do it. I know
I
you
don't
love
yell at you. I don't yell at you.
Yeah, you do.
Anyway, we did not watch the I guess you call it their Rumble, their Royal Rumble type deal they do every year at Wrestle Kingdom. But who was the winner of this, by the way? I don't even know who the winner was, RK. Was it Goto? I'm trying to see.
Hiroki Goto.
It was Goto. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we watched after that we watched everything else. Did we? Yes. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship ladder match, the Intergalactic Jet Setters versus Catch 22 versus the Ichiban Sweet Boys and the War Dogs. To put this out there, New Japan does not do ladder matches very often, and their ladders scare the ever-living fuck out of me after watching this match. And I was entertained for majority of it. Hot start. I enjoyed the match. The ending came with a TMDK, with the Abachi and Sweet Boys picking up the win. What did you think of the opening here?
What the fuck did you just butcher that name?
I can never say it right.
Ichiban?
Ichiban?
Hibachi? Where the fuck
Ichiban.
you get a? Where do you get a hibachi from?
I don't know. It's just my chest hurts right now. What did you think of the match
The
itself?
the Mr. Noodles Sweet Boys. This match started out hot and then it fizzled right the fuck out, and it's just like they just rushed to the finish because they're like, okay, we did all this shit. How the fuck do we finish this match now? It was a hot start. It was fun, and then it was just like, okay, what are you guys doing? But yeah, it was a fun opener. It was a fun
the IWGP Women's World Championship.
TJP, just I like TJP. Like,
yeah, apparently his contract came to an end.
I didn't realize he's as old as he is too. He's like in his late 30s.
Yeah, and he was WWE for a while.
The dude still looks like he's fucking 16.
He does. The IWGP Women's World Championship match: Mayu Iwatani versus Azumi, and Mayu retains her title here.
Holy
this fucking match was so good, man. It blew the Mercedes match out of the water that Dave hyped the fuck up. This was
holy fuck
so good.
You want to see two women go to fucking war? You go watch this match. This match was so fucking good.
Yes.
Like unreal. Azumi, fantastic. Mayu Iwatani, fantastic. These two are fucking, they're stars. They're so good. I was blew my fucking mind.
Yes, they put on a absolute. If Dave has any sort of mind, that's a 5-star match right there. 5 stars, maybe more. I don't know.
So good.
We'll see. Dave will give it like 4.75 because he doesn't want it to be bigger than Mercedes. Anyway,
like this is watching this match is why all eyes should be on Stardom.
Agreed. I agree with that. We don't watch Stardom as much as we probably should, but or at least check in here and there and see what matches they got. But I'll tell you what, any match that has Mayu Iwatani or Azumi in it, probably a good match.
So good. Azumi's been doing this for like over a decade, and she's only 22. She started wrestling when she was 11.
Are both of them? They are. Yeah, Mayu Iwatani's on Team Hiromu for New Japan Battle at the Valley, and Azumi is in that elimination match. So both of them will be at Battle at the Valley. New Japan World Television Championship Fatal 4-Way match. Ren Narita, the champion, defending against Jeff Cobb, Ryo Owai, and El Phantasmo. El Phantasmo is going to pick up the win here. And the story with El Phantasmo was this was his first match back after the cancer stuff he was dealing with, correct?
Like
2
months after.
Right.
Like the cancer, the testicular, I believe it's testicular. Might not have been. Don't quote me on that. But he had cancer. Announced that in October, and he did treatment, and he came back in January.
Yep, and it looked fantastic. This match was fantastic. I enjoyed this match too. I love Jeff Cobb. El Phantasmo was great. They put on a pretty good one. What did you think of this one?
El Phantasmo that man's crazy. His bumps are wild. Jeff Cobb is just freakishly athletic for a man of that size. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
Ren Narita, well, Narita did what Narita does, and it can be rough sometimes, but thank God it was in a 4-way. And yeah, Oiwa looked good too. I don't know much about Oiwa, but this was a good match. But El Phantasmo and Jeff Cobb stole the show.
Which makes me really, really excited for New Japan Battle at the Valley that they have a one-on-one match for that title. So looking forward to that one. We had the Lumberjack Death Match. It was Hair versus Career. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Evil. Why am I spacing this match?
Because it wasn't very good.
Okay. Hiroshi Tanahashi gets the win over Evil.
Evil's like a shell of his former self. 2024 was not a good year for Evil.
Mm-mm.
And it so far has not been a good year for. Let's just hope that he takes out all his frustration on a couple of girls this weekend, because I mean,
yeah. And so this match, Tanahashi, as you know, is like the big deal in New Japan. He's doing like a final run, basically all the way until Wrestle Kingdom 20. That will be his final match for New Japan. So this match was obviously, if Tanahashi loses, his career ends right then and there. We don't get the final run. That was kind of what they were pitching. But Tanahashi, it shows that he's in the last run of his career. Legend. But time is undefeated, and it's showing with Tanahashi. The House of Torture attempted to attack Tanahashi after the match, but they were ran off by a hooded figure, which was Katsuyori Shibata. He challenged Tanahashi to a match at Wrestle Dynasty, and we'll talk about that here in a minute.
Yeah, that had me jumping out of my seat for fucking shouting words of joy.
Let's move forward, though, to a banger, man. The Never Openweight Championship and AEW International Championship match. Konosuke Takeshita taking on Shingo Takagi. I think both of us were kind of in and out on this match for some reason. Go back. I went back and kind of watched it again. I urge you to do it too. This match was a banger. These two are fantastic. Takeshita wins, and he hit the Raging Fire Driver to get the win. So he's a double champ now. Takeshita is. What do you think of this one?
Don't fucking tell me what to do. I'll make my own decisions. I think the problem with this match is that we expect epic matches out of Takeshita, and it was a quick match. It went by really quick. I think it only came in at around 12 minutes, and that is what you get out of the Never Openweight Championship matches usually anyways. It's kind of what they aim for that division. Takeshita is still absolutely by far one of the best talents AEW has, and absolutely fantastic. And Takagi's no slouch. Shitagi is a legend in the industry, man. I mean, I thought it was a decent match. I'm not really. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was rushed. I felt like it could have done more. I felt like it could have done more with double the time, like a 20-minute match, 25-minute match.
And when I say
I feel like they could have set up the story a little bit better.
When I say banger, I think I just meant more along the lines of how hard hitting it was, because those two don't hold anything back.
100%.
They hit hard. The IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match, El Desperado took the title off of Dokai. This was due to referee stoppage. Dokai broke his arm doing a plancha over the top rope, and the match ended a lot quicker than it should have. We both kind of were like, whoa, what the hell? And they replayed it. It was oh shit, he legitimately broke his arm.
Oh yeah.
So
it was
that is what happened with that one. The IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship match, Yota Tsuji taking on David Finlay. David Finlay, the champion. Yota takes the title off of David Finlay and
Yota Tsuji.
RK, you've been hyping up Yota Tsuji. Yota Tsuji. You've been hyping him up with his comments he made towards Okada. What did you think of the match and all that goodness?
Tsuji is actually not even slowly, quickly becoming a favorite of mine out of nowhere.
Yeah, he kind of did come out of nowhere.
His style, I like his style. He's very braggadocious. He's very, very outspoken. He's very larger than life. I like his character. I like his style. He's fantastic. He called out Okada, basically calling him a bitch, and that's all he does now. And this match was good. I mean, Tsuji's good. I just love the attitude Tsuji just exuberates from himself. Like, and it goes to show in Wrestle Dynasty on the following night he has a match with Jack Perry, and again I was just like, this dude is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. He's my wrestler out of New Japan to watch in 2025.
Fair enough. We had a special singles match. 2 members of House of Torture, a house divided. This was more just a litmus test for Hiromu Takahashi taking on the Tetsuya Naito. Naito, you got to pick up the win with Destino here. The match itself, I like Naito, and I like Takahashi. Thought the match was good. What say you about
it? It suffered from a very slow start. It's sad to say this. Naito's an absolute legend in the business. He's one of my favorite Japanese wrestlers of all time, period. He's a shell. He is a shell of his former self. He just had another eye surgery. He's not as fast as he used to be. But in the end, Destino might be one of the best looking, prettiest finishers in wrestling, period. That is I love that finisher so much.
Yeah.
Destino is, if we ever do a top 5 finishers of all time, Destino is probably in my top 2, if not number 1.
It is pretty
Destino clean. It's a clean finisher. And actually Takahashi pulling it off too is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Takahashi, I like Taka. He came out with that big suit, and he just seems like a crazy guy. It was fun. But
the main event,
the match was slow. It picked up at the end.
Yeah.
But I just don't think Naito can go anymore like he used
to. We're probably not going to dwell on this long. The main event, Zack Sabre Jr. defending the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship against Shota Umino.
Don't care.
We didn't really watch.
I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I do not give a fuck about Zack Sabre Jr.
We watched the start of it.
Absolutely boring. Fuck. I love Shota. I think Shota's the future of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Naito is fucking not Naito. Fuck, now I'm on Naito. But Zack Sabre Jr. is boring, not. He is so boring. His matches are not fun. That technical style of wrestling is cool if you mix him with other shit. Zack Sabre does. It's horrible. It's fucking garbage. I'm sorry. Roast me if you think that he is the prime wrestler that should be leading a fucking company with their main belt. Roast me all you want. The guy is fucking garbage. His wrestling style is garbage. He thinks he's Bryan Danielson, but he couldn't even fucking lace Bryan Danielson's boots.
Yep. Fair enough. Let's move on to Wrestle Dynasty now. We did not watch the kickoff show, but I will say real quick, the International Women's Cup Tournament Finals, Momo Watanabe defeated Willow Nightingale, Athena, and Persephone.
Horseshit.
Yeah, agreed. Momo can now declare to go after whatever title she wishes.
Why does Willow get no fucking... Ever since Mercedes came into the company, Willow has just been cast aside like she's nothing. Willow, I'm sorry. Get the fuck out of that company. Come to WWE. You'll be a fucking star. You are one of the best female wrestlers around.
Yeah, she's great. The Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship match was also on the pre-show. The Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara defeated House of Torture's Show and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Let's get into the main show here, though. We had a Lucha Gauntlet match, which saw Taiji Ishimori defeat Hechicero, Vegeta, Sabredo Jr., Master Wato, Masker Dorado, Titan, and El Desperado. This match was what you expect from a bunch of luchadors. Just some high-flying craziness, blah, blah, blah. Match. It was a spot fest. I assume anything else to add to it besides spot fest?
Although, big standout, Hechicero, that fucking dude can go.
He's great. I like Hechicero. Taiji Ishimori picks up the win there. An exhibition match. This match. Hiroshi Tanahashi, Katsuyori Shibata ended in a time limit draw. It was like a 5-minute slap each other match, I guess.
It's what you would expect from Tanahashi and Shibata. It was exactly what they're going for. It accomplished what they wanted to accomplish. It was just an exhibition between two friends just going, hey, who can beat the shit out of each other harder for 5 minutes?
Mm-hmm. The New Japan Strong Women's Championship versus the British Pro Wrestling's Women's Championship. Winner take all match here. Mercedes Moné, Mina Shirakawa. Mercedes picks up the win with a Monet Maker. What did you think of this match?
I don't understand how anybody thinks that Mercedes is the best version of herself right now. Sean Ross Sapp said this. Somebody asked Sean Ross Sapp on Twitter, it's like, does Mercedes Moné have creative control in AEW and any other things she does outside of AEW, like New Japan or CMLL or whatever? And Sean Ross is like, laughs, LOL. No, she doesn't have creative control. She might have some input on what she might think is cool and happens. What the fuck are you talking? She has won every fucking match and every title match and every belt that she has been in a match for since she's joined AEW. She has Tony Khan's balls in her hand and she squeezes them as hard as she wants to get what she wants. It's a fucking joke. Mercedes, you are a shell of your former self. Sasha Banks was way better. I was watching when Charlotte beat Becky at Royal Rumble and Sasha came out afterwards, and then the crowd pop and the aura and everything. I was like, that is a fantastic. You're not even close to that level of Mercedes. This is fucking horse shit. And she's just gonna win every fucking title from every fucking company. That's garbage.
When it's all said and done, and she's gonna come back to WWE. She even hinted at it.
I don't give a fuck. She's no. I don't even want her to come back to WWE at this point. She thinks she is the greatest fucking gift to wrestling as a woman, and she isn't.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry. Your mid-card title women's champion is more important than your AEW women's world champion. Mariah May gets nothing. Toni Storm has been relegated back to being, I mean, granted, it's absolutely fantastic what Tony's doing right now, but I mean,
really good. It's
like,
really good.
Fuck off. Mercedes is absolute trash right now, and I can't. She brings no personality to her matches. Her matches aren't even all that great. Dave Meltzer can, suck on that all day long. Every 10-star match that he wants to give to her because he wants to be in fucking Tony. It's garbage. It's horse shit. Mercedes Moné is a joke. I'm sorry. It would be hard even if she does go back to WWE and comes back to Sasha, or if she keeps the Mercedes moniker or whatever. I would be hard pressed to be interested in it because of this run of hers. It's absolute garbage. She's buried Willow. She buried Stephanie McCurr. She buries everybody she comes across. She thinks she's better than everybody, and she's horrible. That 5-star match in CMLL or whatever the fuck it was with Iwatani or whoever it was, or Kama, whoever the fuck
was strong of it.
Whatever it was, and won that title, and then she won the Rev Pro title. What title she's win? The Stardom title. She's gonna win the IWGP fucking Women's Championship from Iwatani. She's like, whatever. Like, get fucked. It's horse shit. I'm over it. It's garbage. No.
All right.
She can't bring any. She doesn't bring any kind of emotion to her matches. She's just going through the motions. Does the shit. None of the shit looks good. I'm sorry.
David Finlay.
You heard it here. I fucking think she's fucking trash.
There you go. Heard it here first. David Finlay defeated Brody King with an overkill. What did you think of this one? I like David Finlay. I really do.
This was what Big E would call it. It's a meat match.
It was just David Finlay hitting power bombs.
Yeah. I can't wait for the moment when Gabe Kidd tries to usurp David Finlay for the lead of Bullet Club. It's going to be so great. Yeah, it always happens. That's how Bullet Club runs. You got that young, hungry guy that wants the spot, and they take it.
It's a rite of passage at this point. You take out the former leader.
It is 100%. It's how Bullet Club runs. And Gabe Kidd's going to be at the top of that chain sooner or later. David Finlay is fantastic. Brody King, I was impressed with by this. This was a good, hard-hitting match. I was actually quite entertained by this match quite a bit. Brody King's actually quite athletic for a big fucking dude.
He always does something with a fucking chair. He always does that rolling sit on with a chair. Shota Umino defeated Claudio Castagnoli with a Death Rider DDT, taking out Claudio. I hope this is leading towards Shota and John Moxley at some point. The match itself, I enjoyed it. I like Shota and I like Claudio. I enjoyed the match. What about you?
I said it earlier, Wrestle Kingdom, and I'll continue to say it. I think Shota is the future of New Japan. He's absolutely fantastic.
Shota, Gabe Kidd, your other guy now recently, I think. I don't want to say his name wrong.
Suji.
Yoda
Suji.
Those are your three. Those are your three guys to build off of.
Yeah. I think New Japan's in a good position. Oh my lord. Somebody. So Kenny Omega in a post-conference presser said something along the lines of like he wants to gather guys from AEW and have a full-on brawl with guys from New Japan and decide who the better company is, right? And somebody ran with like, that's right. Kenny Omega, New Japan needs some life inserted back into it because New Japan, they're kind of a dying company. And I was just like, what the fuck? New Japan's been around forever.
You know what would be hilarious if they run with that storyline? And then Kenny Omega switches sides. He's like, I'm a New Japan guy at heart. And he switches teams.
I mean, fuck. Get me an Ospreay, Omega, White, and Okada versus Finlay, Gabe Kidd, Suji, Umino match. I'm there for it.
What's funny is you just named 4 guys that were New Japan's guys that Tony Khan paid.
Oh yeah. That same mark in the same comments, AEW took these guys and made them superstars, while in New Japan nobody knew who they were. It's like, what the fuck? Outside of Ospreay, what has White, Okada fucking done since they've come to fucking AEW?
Right. That's crazy.
White was the leader of fucking Bullet Club, man. Come on.
Right.
He's the one who took out Omega.
Yeah, that's true. He's the one that, he took his spot. Cody also took out Omega at one point and became the leader of Bullet Club for a little bit. Anyway,
nonetheless, this match between Umino and Claudio was great because it just showed. It was a match to show Umino's inner the ability to get beat down by a bigger, more powerful opponent and come back, fight back, and still get the win. This will lead to a John Moxley thing. Umino called up Moxley, and Moxley's like, I ain't fighting. I'll send one of my boys for you.
One down.
I don't know if Moxley's going to make him go through Wheeler and Pac as well, but we'll see. Yeah.
Be cool. Be a cool little story to tell with Shota. The Never Open Weight Championship.
Just telling a story in the ring with it. It's somehow it just
New Japan gets it. New Japan gets it.
It's good.
Anyway, the Never Open Weight Championship and AEW International Championship on the line again for the second night in a row. Konosuke Takeshita defending against Tomohiro Ishii. Takeshita is going to pick up the one with the Raging Fire Driver. This very similar aspects to the match the night previous with Takagi here from Takeshita. Hard hitting, picks up the one with the Raging Fire Driver. Takeshita being Takeshita, Tomohiro Ishii being the Stone Pitbull. What did you think of that?
So it's a nice reminder of what Ishii can still do when he's not in the ring with Jericho.
Yeah.
The dude kept up with Takeshita. That's insane. Ishii's 59.
Yes. It's still somehow still doing this. He's great. And he also has no neck. The dude has no fucking neck.
The dude's just a tank. He's a fucking tank. I would imagine Takeshita, they did the fucking running and trying to shoulder check him down, and the fact that Takeshita had to take a few shots at him to take him down finally is impressive. Takeshita's not a small fucking guy.
Right. Same thing. I think him and Takagi did the same thing, but with Ishii, it's just he's just a tank, literally just boom. The IWGP World Tag Team Championship match, titles on the line. The champions at the time were the United Empires, Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb, defending against the Young Bucks, who are back in action for the first time since losing the titles to Private Party on AEW's pay-per-view, I think. I forget which one. Versus LIG de Japón, Naito and Takahashi. The winners, again, are the Young Bucks. Once again, IWGP World Tag Team Champions. The Bucks pick up the one with the Meltzer driver. I like this match. The Young Bucks showed that, the Young Bucks are still fun. They still can do their shit. My favorite part about the Young Bucks matches is the shit they talk when they're in Japan, because you can hear it nice, loud, and clear. And I laugh I get good pops out of me. What did you think of the match?
The Young Bucks in New Japan are it's weird how they're so different from the Young Bucks in AEW.
Like, they were still wearing the same stuff from AEW, the suit thing and all this, but you're right, it's different.
It just hits different. Not like this match was a 5-star banner or anything. No, it wasn't even really a 3-star banner. It was a spot fest, and it worked because that's what the Young Bucks are known for, is spot fest. And when they do it good, they do it better than anybody else, and it's just a fact. But like I just said, and you agreed with, when they're in Japan, they just hit different. They just hit different.
I don't know what it is, man.
I've not watched a Young Bucks match in Japan where I'm like, that was not good. I've always been like, holy fuck, those guys are probably the best tag in the world. You watch them in AEW, and you're like, these guys fucking suck.
Agreed. Yota Tsuji taking on Jack Perry. He's defending his Global Heavyweight Championship. Yota beats Jack Perry. I enjoyed this match, and I know you did as well. Go ahead and walk me through what you thought about it.
I mean, I hate to say it, but Jack Perry is decent. He's decent.
Yeah.
I'll give him decent. I'm not going to say he's like the best wrestler ever. He's decent. We all knew the outcome of this match right off the hop because Tsuji just won the title the night before. He wasn't losing it here. Yeah, it was a decent match. It wasn't like the match the night before with Tsuji was way better. And Jack Perry's not going to blow your socks off, but somehow Jack Perry just does enough where I'm going, okay, he can go, but I don't think he'll ever do enough to where I'm going, this guy's amazing.
Fair enough. Up next, you know what? I'm going to, a little audible on my part. We're going to do this real quick. The IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match, Zack Sabre Jr. defending against Ricochet, was the main event. It shouldn't have been. This other match we'll close with should have been. But Sabre Jr. retains his title over Ricochet. This match started off very fast because Ricochet made it that way. High speed, and then it turned into a Zack Sabre Jr. match, and I grew bored of it. RK, what say you?
I tuned out the second it started. I hate Zack Sabre Jr. The guy is fucking trash.
It's true. All right, well, we'll move on from that, and let's talk
I won't even at this point. I won't even entertain the thought of giving that guy a chance to impress me.
Fair enough. We're going to close with the match that should have closed Wrestle Dynasty. Hell, it should have closed Wrestle Kingdom 19's show the day prior. Kenny Omega returns to the ring, first time in over a year, to take on Gabe Kidd. And this match was, I'm thinking of the little meme, pure cinema. It was beautiful pace, beautiful spots. It brought fucking Tanahashi to tears. Afterwards, we had blood. Kenny Omega, by the way, just going to take it easy. Get my feel back. And he comes out and puts on a fucking classic with Gabe Kidd. I don't really know much to say about this match except urge whoever watch the match. Please go watch this match. And then go watch any Kenny Omega match you can fucking find. And then go down the rabbit hole and realize why Kenny Omega is the greatest wrestler of all time.
I dare you to find an Omega match that, one, is bad, or two, it wasn't that great, but it was still fucking entertaining. Like, I dare you to find one. It's next to impossible. I've not come across an Omega match where I'm like, meh. I've always been in grip. This, now that we've talked through Wrestle Dynasty, it wasn't a horrible show by any means. It seemed like the pacing was weird with it. I think that's what, and the Mercedes shit. We already went over that. That killed me for a little while. And that's where you have those ebbs and flows in shows, and you just got to schedule them better. That's what WWE does so well. If you play the game and it's a thing. It's like your opener, get them up, and then you kind of bring them down a little bit, then get them back up. You got to have that perfect ebb and flow. New Japan, AEW, they do this weird thing where they're like high, low, high, low, high, low, and you're just like, what the fuck is going on here? I can't get into a rhythm, right? But anyways, nonetheless, Kenny Omega's been gone for 14 months. He comes back and puts on an instant classic out of nowhere. Right off the start, you're just like, can Kenny Omega still do this? Can he still? Is he going to be fine? And right off the hop, it's just, let's go. And Gabe Kidd, bravo, so fucking good. We all know Kenny Omega can literally have a 5-star match with a doll. But when you have an opponent that is capable of keeping up, or at least, accenting your talents, it just makes it so much better. It's absolutely ridiculous that a man that can not wrestle for 14 months straight, had he not gone to the doctor when he did, he'd probably be dead today.
Yep.
Like, all that shit. Just come back and just put on that kind of a match that we were waiting for it. And I was like, is he going to do the crazy shit? And then he did that springboard from the top rope corner over the barrier onto Gabe Kidd.
Through a table.
So it's like, what the fuck are we doing, Kenny? I love it, but what are we doing? And then, at that point, you're just like, Kenny still got it. He still got it. The guy is the best belt machine. That nickname is not just a nickname; it's a fact. That man does not know how to put on a bad match. He refuses to. He maybe he did go into the match going, I'm going to take it easy, make sure I can still do this, and he's just like, fuck it, I am the greatest fucking wrestler on this planet, and I'm going to prove it.
The entrance from the entrance that made it seem like he was the god of New Japan, with the Final Fantasy themes ringing out throughout the Tokyo Dome, to as soon as, I'll tell you this, Kenny Omega probably, as soon as his feet hit that fucking mat in the Tokyo Dome, he said, fuck taking it easy. We're going to do some wild shit tonight. Blade job, deep. He bled a lot. Move after, it was just a classic. Go watch it. I beg you, go watch this match. And then, like I said, watch every Kenny Omega match you can. He's fantastic.
If Dynamite was 5 Kenny Omega matches in a row, I would call it the greatest wrestling show on the planet.
Fair enough. That is that for the
which wrestling. Is weird. Like a year ago, we were trying to we're all on the Ospreay train. Because Ospreay Okada at Battle of Valor, we were like, oh, this guy can fucking go. And then we saw Kenny Omega at not at Wrestle Kingdom. He wasn't at Wrestle Kingdom last year. It was all Ospreay. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we started watching all the old New Japan stuff, and then we came across, well, what are 5-star matches? We started looking at Meltzer's 5-star matches, and it's like, holy fuck, Omega's on this a lot. Let's watch more Omega matches. Just like, holy fuck. First match is like, goddamn. Second match, goddamn. Third match, goddamn. Fourth match, goddamn. It's like, why have I not been watching this man for the past 5 years on AEW? Why did I go back for CM Punk? Why have I not heard of Kenny Omega? This guy's fantastic.
I said this when we were going through all those matches.
Give that man every fucking belt in wrestling. He deserves it.
I knew the name Kenny Omega, and I didn't watch the matches. I watched them for the first time with you, but I'd heard the name Kenny Omega, and I knew he had a match at Wrestle Kingdom against Chris Jericho, which, by the way, banger.
Banger match.
And I knew the name Kenny Omega, and I knew everybody says he was great, and he's greatest, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, see it for myself. One of my favorite matches from Kenny Omega was the Ospreay Omega match. I forget which event
in
it
Canada?
was. The one in Canada.
Yep.
Banged. That match banged, and then any Okada matchup with them. Fantastic.
The 2 out of 3 falls match might be one of the greatest matches in the history of wrestling. Period.
Yep. And Dave Meltzer is totally fine giving that 7 stars.
It might just be the greatest match in the history of wrestling.
Fair. It's an argument that can be made. Yeah, check out any Kenny Omega match you can find. Yeah, you're right. He's taking on Brian Cage.
He just has something about him. He's just aura. It's aura.
Yep.
As soon as he steps on that screen, you're just like, this guy is the god of wrestling.
Yep. And we think you said it when he was walking back. I think it's fair to say he's the greatest professional wrestler of all time.
I think if you were asked if we're doing that list right now of top wrestlers of all time, I think Omega is number one on that list.
Yeah, it's an argument that can be had.
I think the fact that cements it for me is gone for 14 months, comes back and does that. That's unreal. Nobody does that. Nobody does that at that age.
Brock Lesnar didn't even fucking do that.
At that age, nobody does it. Kenny Omega's nearly 40 years old. Nobody does that at that age. Be gone for over a year at that age with some you can't work out. The dude was fucking jacked and ready to go. He looked in amazing shape. Who does that? Who the fuck does that? Who comes back after 14 months at that age and puts on an instant classic? Who the fuck does that? I'm sorry. After that, it cements it. He is probably the best wrestler of all time.
All right, fair enough. Let's get to the debut on Netflix for Monday Night Raw. We talked about the ratings and all that stuff, but let's talk about what happened on the show itself. We opened up with a cold open video on a curtains around the ring. Curtains drop to reveal Triple H standing in the middle of the new ring.
Hold up before you get too much further. So in that promo, he says, shoot, work, heel, face. In the press conference afterwards, he was asked about that. He's like going, it's no secret what we do. We all know what we do. Even the casual fan knows what those terms are now. Before it was kept for all the smarks. The smart marks. But everyone knows what we do. We ain't trying to hide it. We ain't trying to pull the wool over your eyes. We know that you know what we do. And we're not going to try to hide it. And that's why that was in there.
Mm-hmm. He made the curtains drop, revealing him the new canvas, new mat, with a bunch of sponsors around it. Referees have new shirts as well. Just kind of going with a new era, really. Triple H calls it the welcome to the Netflix era, and welcomes everybody.
It's amazing. No one can hype up their own history like WWE can hype up their own history.
Yeah.
When you really think about it, you think of all think about sports in general. You think about the Yankees, you think about all the greats, the Buffalo Bills in their heyday,
back comparison.
What, Buffalo Bills? They were a fucking dominant team back in the 70s and 80s.
0 Super Bowls.
I don't give a fuck about championships. They were dominant.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are a really good example too. But anyway,
I don't watch football. I think football's gay. But nonetheless, I was digging. Yankees, one of the greatest baseball teams in the history of the business. Hockey, Toronto Maple Leafs, Montreal Canadiens, soccer, whatever you want to think. Nobody can hype up their own history as much as the WWE can hype up their own history.
That's fair. The Rock comes out to kick it all off after Triple H.
The Bills are winning the Super Bowl this year anyway, so
wouldn't be mad. The Rock, and then we talked about this a little bit, kind of just went full babyface here.
No, he didn't. I'm sorry, don't fucking spew that bullshit. He didn't go babyface. He went corporate here. He went as the majority shareholder of TKO as of last week. He bought like another $42 million worth of shares. But anyways, nonetheless, he went out there pitching WWE to Netflix as their opener. That's what he was there for. Nothing else.
Well, I said that. I said I agreed with people that said, what The Rock did wasn't
don't pitch that he went babyface. That's not what he was doing. That's not what he was fucking doing.
He fucking went over and hugged Cody Rhodes. Literally,
he's just doing his fucking job.
And then he went backstage and had shots with him and had a good old time with Cody.
And then
actually, solid point when you think about that. He did drive off. Maybe we should anyway. What Rock did was, yes, he went corporate. That what the Rock segment was for wasn't for us, RK. It wasn't for the guys that watched the shit every week. It was for Netflix. It was for those fans that were tuning in for the WWE for the first time in a long time, and they go, "Oh shit!"
It was for Netflix. It was for the people that were just tuning in. It was for the shareholders. It was show we're strong. We're going to make you money. That's what he was out there doing. His
like, oh
job.
shit, it's The Rock. I love The Rock. I see him in the movie. I love The Rock. They don't want to see The Rock coming out here saying, fuck you, Cody. Fuck Mama Rhodes. Whatever. I get what was going on there.
I just don't want you sitting there and spewing on that babyface bullshit that everyone thinks that
you can't sit here and fucking say he wasn't being. It was clearly babyface-esque. It was. He was being Mr. Nice Guy. He was being a babyface. You can call it corporate all you want. That's fine. But he was still being Mr. Nice Guy. Okay? He was being Mr. Nice Guy.
He wasn't there as The Rock. Well, he was. He was there as
Dwayne
Johnson, the shareholder.
He literally came out and said The Rock has. Anyway, he says he's gonna watch Roman.
I don't want you
filling all those. I'll spew whatever.
I don't want you filling all those desperate Marks heads with. Oh, look at this! They just went nice on.
That's not even what I was trying to do.
Don't do that.
I wasn't doing
that guy. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
And you want to know the truth, RK? I'm going back and forth between sites over here, and that is direct from Fightful.
That's not shocking at all.
Anyway, he says he's gonna watch.
I think you should run with the forgetful. I think that works so much better.
He says he's gonna watch Roman and Solo's match very closely. That is, of course, the match is up next. Tribal Combat. Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa. Tribal Combat is Tribal Combat. Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga make an appearance. Try and help Solo. They get deterred by Sami Zayn and Jimmy Uso. Kevin Owens comes out, kind of helping Solo, but not really. But that spurs Cody to come out and get rid of Kevin Owens. Tribal Combat doing Tribal Combat things. Roman Reigns is going to pick up the win with 2 spears. The Rock's going to drape the Ulafalo over Roman afterwards. The match, RK, what did you think?
This match never reached that top tier. Correct me if I'm wrong. Last Tribal Combat match, one of the rules of it was no interference from members of the Bloodlines.
I got no idea. I don't remember the last one.
I'm pretty sure that was one of the rules. Nonetheless, I obviously that wasn't the case here. But I'm pretty sure that was the rule of Tribal Combat was no interference because it's between the two to hash or shit.
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
Nonetheless, anyways, it was a good match. It was a good opener match. I thought it'd be the main event. Thank God it wasn't, because the main event ended up being so much better than this was. Luckily, because of the over glorified squash match that happens, this wasn't the worst match on the night, but it could have been. And that's not as a bad thing. It's just the other matches, like Seth and Punk banner match, and Rhea and Liv, way better than I thought it'd be. Honestly, way better than I thought it'd be. So saying that if it wasn't for that squash match, it was weird calling it a squash match, but in theory, it was an over-glorified squash match. But nonetheless, we'll get to it. Good match. Just never reached that level that I think it should have.
Up next, we see CM Punk getting ready. He's wearing the jacket that made Tony Khan fear for his life with the 3 X's on the back. Also, the gear he wore back in Ring of Honor. But I like the Tony Khan feared for his life jacket as well. So Tony Khan probably was tuning in like, oh my God, PTSD. I'm not going to do this every time. Throughout the night, because this is the debut, we see multiple celebrities everywhere. They highlight all of them, show them on camera. So I'll ask you, what was your favorite person that you saw there that made you go, oh shit? That was pretty cool. Kieran was also there as well.
You see that clip with him and Punk after his match? I watched that multiple times. I'm just like, that's a cool interaction, actually.
Yeah. My pop was
I won last night. This is how I celebrate.
Mine was probably seeing Topanga, and then I asked the question to you on the live stream: Topanga or Kelly Kapowski?
Kelly Kapowski
all day. But I love Topanga. My dog O'Shea Jackson Jr. was back there fucking with and I didn't realize it at the time until I saw his tweet where he said, "I'm going full heel." They were in the LA Clippers arena, and he was waving around the LA Lakers title. Yes, he was going full heel. But he was there. Many celebrities, many more to talk about. One of my favorites, though, actually, may I say, Vanessa Hudgens. I love Vanessa Hudgens, and the fact that she's a pro wrestling
Hot
super
girls
fan.
are pro wrestling fans.
That's her shirt. I was like, hot girls watch pro wrestling. I'm like, yeah, at a girl. High School Musical, Vanessa Hudgens, gotta love it. We get a vignette, and this
You are young enough to know that too. Ugh.
Sorry. We get
Zac Efron.
the final little vignette that says Penta El Zero Miedo. He's coming. Chad Gable.
Not sure who that is.
Yeah, who knows? Could be Masquerado. Who knows? John Cena comes out to kick off his
Sin Cara
retirement
3.
retirement tour. John thanks Los Angeles for all of the memories. He talks about the fans that want him to win another world championship, and he says it's not going to happen. He's on a losing streak. There's no way. And then he says, well, I'm here, so we never say never. It would need a miracle, like winning the Royal Rumble, or, well, actually, he says the Money in the Bank briefcase, or the Elimination Chamber, or the Royal Rumble. And then as you can see Arcade demonstrating, that's kind of what John did. He pieces it together, and he goes, crazy idea, crazy idea, guys. The Royal Rumble, I was just going to show up, do the thing, and leave, but what if I win the Royal Rumble? Crowd obviously hot for this. Basically, John enters the Royal Rumble here, hinting that he's going to do whatever it takes to maybe win that record 17th world title. Go back and watch our Super Show with Kyle Wells, TK Dub. We do kind of a deep dive on John Cena, what we expect, and I think all three of us said that John should win the 17th championship.
Yes, 100% he should. It's gotta happen. It's gotta happen. It's time. It's time to retire Ric Flair's record. It's time to get a new guy in that role that will hold that number for the next 50. No, not 50. Let's call it the next 20 years.
Yeah, we'll see. And yeah, I think John Cena.
Maybe Austin Theory breaks it one day.
Yeah, maybe. I think John deserves it. As you know, you hinted you didn't really watch him like I did, but the man was the star, and he was the focal point of WWE, and he put it on his back for years. So yeah, Cena's great. Final roll here. Next stop, Royal Rumble. I don't know if he has any dates on Raw coming up until the Rumble. I would assume maybe he pops up once or twice, but we'll see. He doesn't really need to if he doesn't want to. We get a Logan Paul vignette.
He's scheduled the whole year for that shit.
In the
also, I'd like to say
he said 36 dates.
That's still a lot.
Yeah.
That's like 3 appearances a month.
Yeah.
Also, with Topanga in the crowd was Eric from Boy Meets World. Well,
they didn't give him any love. They didn't give him any love.
They didn't care about that. But that was Will Friedle. That's Eric.
That's
Eric Matthews.
That's literally Feeney. Feeney.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on. Logan Paul vignette says he wants to focus on being a WWE superstar. I could give a shit less about Logan Paul if I'm being honest with you. I don't. He's great in the ring. I don't like him. I don't like him and what he talked. He's annoying as fuck. Congratulations, you're famous and you have a bunch of money, and you also did that thing in Japan.
Somebody's jealous.
Not really. I do like watching the segment with Dominic Mysterio.
You wish we blow up like Logan Paul. You wish.
Sure, yeah, that'd be fantastic. Why would I not wish that? Let's just not go to Japan and film some stupid shit, huh?
Well, I mean, we could talk how you're like Triple H.
All right, easy killer. The WWE Women's World Championship, Rhea Ripley defeats Liv Morgan. She gets her title back. Post-match, she gets to hit Dom in the balls and hit him with a riptide, and the Undertaker, the badass American Undertaker, comes out, and they get a nice little picture moment together. All that, RK. The match itself, you said you were surprised. Why is that? And what'd you think?
I thought Liv looked better than she had in a long time.
Yeah.
Ripley's Ripley. Ripley's fantastic. Ripley's going to go down in history as probably one of the best female wrestlers, if not best wrestlers in the company ever. And I'm not talking just about wrestling skill. I'm talking about the whole package, because that's what wrestling is. It's not just what you can do in the ring. It's what you can do with everything else. Look at Ricochet. So anyways, nonetheless, Liv looked better than she has since probably winning the title originally, in my opinion. Good match. It was a good match. The right obvious get the title back on Ripley. Let's hope this is done with. What's interesting here is what they did with Dom, because now they have what the fuck is going to happen on Monday with Liv and Dom.
Yeah, because Dom went for a hug on Rhea. People did put on the internet that Liv helped Dom out, to the ramp, but it was still like,
yeah, but there's something that she's not just gonna forget about it.
Watch Dom run off with Raquel now.
It's cool. The Undertaker giving the rub to Rhea Ripley. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was sick. Adam Pearce backstage talking to Bayley. Seems like Bayley headed to Monday Night Raw, most likely. We'll see. Stay tuned. Chad Gable interrupts this. Gable says he wants to prove he doesn't have a problem with luchadors. Asks for a one-on-one match with a luchador next week. Adam says he's got someone in store. Who could it be, RK? Any final guesses?
Ray Phoenix.
Imagine Ray Phoenix just comes out and is like, whoa, wait a minute. Whoa. Jey Uso's entrance, we talked about it, takes a very, very long time. Travis Scott actually was out first with Fiend playing, smoking a joint, holding his hardcore title, having a good time.
Sage.
Sage, yeah, you're right. Pat said Sage. Then Jay makes his entrance, and there's a lot of yeeting. Pat doing his thing, Michael Cole getting on the table, and then not knowing how to get down, as RK said. What'd you think of the entrance? Just all that.
I mean, it fits for Jey Uso. I mean,
yeah,
over the top, bigger than life. The dude is an absolute superstar right now. I feel like he's never gonna fully get the respect that he deserves, though.
World title.
Yeah.
We'll see. He does pick up the win here against Drew McIntyre, though. You've been kind of hinting at this the whole time. What did you think of
this? It was a glorified squash match. It really was. It was weird. It was very weird.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Jay picked
up 10 minutes long. It's not like McIntyre got a ton of offense in.
Jay kind of made quick work of it. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird. We got a Gunther vignette who wasn't on Monday Night Raw, just a vignette of Gunther, but...
Oh, no. He wasn't on Monday Night Raw? The guy's not important anymore.
Ooh, that vignette was fire. What'd you think?
Gunther is amazing. Gunther is fantastic. I've said this really forever. Gunther is one of those weird outliers where he's slow and methodical in the ring, and it's enjoyable as fuck.
Yep. Kathy Kelly interviews Gabriel Iglesias, the comedian. New Day interrupt, and they're all pissy because they haven't had time to talk about their recent actions.
New Day sucks.
Gabriel Iglesias walks up saying, New Day sucks. Hulk Hogan comes out to talk about his Real American Beer and Netflix and WWE. He gets booed out the building. We already talked about this in the news. Hogan got booed out the building. Is what it is. Main event, though. This is what we got to talk about. CM Punk, Seth Rollins finally come to a head. And CM Punk, best in the world. Seth Rollins, one of the best in the world. They put on a banger here. I enjoyed this match start to finish. From trading each other's finishers to the false finishes to Punk picking up the win over Rollins here. I enjoyed it. What did you think of the match?
While this was not like an all-time classic, I mean, this is probably about as close as you can get to 5-star match without reaching a 5-star match. It just goes to prove something that Punk, through all the naysayers, all the people saying that he still can't go, that he just can't do it anymore.
That he's shit, as he said.
Fucking Clash of the Castle strap match. Bad Blood, Hell in a Cell. This match, the dude... Yeah, he's not going to wrestle every week and put on a banner match. But
46 is just a number.
When he goes, he goes. It's fucking fantastic match. Seth Rollins. Interested to see where this goes. I think Seth. I don't think they're done yet. I don't think this is.
No.
I think this is far from over.
I think Punk even said that in the post match conference. It was like, do you think it's over? He goes, no, I know Seth. This isn't the last. He says, as much as I would like to say this is the end of it, it won't be. I'm sure Seth's going to come back and whatnot.
So Remember at the end of the match, you're like, oh my God, I hope he isn't injured.
Uh-huh.
It's been determined that after he pinned Rollins, he leans over Rollins to check that he's okay because he was bleeding from his eye there. So he
told
leans
the
over
ref.
Rollins, he leaned over Rollins, asked him if he was okay. Then he rolled over to the ref, and what he was telling him was like, "Hey, check on Rollins, make sure he's good."
Yeah. He's
He
a
wasn't
professional.
saying
He's a professional. And yeah,
But
the match.
Yeah, he fueled the fires because Cody Rhodes did a tweet about the American Wheatley vodka or some shit, and he tagged CM Punk and Seth Rollins, and CM Punk retweeted it, but when he retweeted the tweet, he crossed out Seth Rollins' name.
That wasn't on Twitter. It had it on Instagram. But
Instagram, whatever it was. I don't fucking care. Same shit.
Social media.
People say. So anyways, nonetheless, CM Punk continues to fuel that fire.
Yeah. Final thoughts from the debut show on Netflix for Raw.
It was a glorified
PLE.
PLE-esque TV show. It was good. It was exactly what I expected it to be.
Agreed. I'm
It did
excited to
not
see
feel
what
like
they
3
do.
hours. It really didn't. It
did
went by
not.
fast.
We will see how it goes on Monday. I'm excited to see how they do this going forward. And also, just breaking news after doing the live stream for Monday Night Raw, me and RK have decided we will not be live streaming weekly shows going forward. We'll do some PLEs on the weekends and whatnot, but
The PLEs on the weekends are fine. Weekly shows, fuck no. I'm way too tired for that shit.
it was rough.
You guys
it was
probably
rough.
popped in like, these guys are the most boring fucks in the world. And we
were.
probably were.
We were.
But
we were both
tune
dead.
into the weekly show because we are far from boring, I would say.
Yes, we have a good time here. We're going to have a good time talking about the best brand in the world, NXT. They had a fantastic 2024, and they're all gas, no breaks again here. Still 2025. New Year's Evil. We kick things off with Vic Joseph, Booker T, and Corey Graves.
It's a one-off.
Apparently, it's a
Or
one-off.
so I've heard.
RK's hearing. But anyway, it was cool. Corey Graves was there to do it with Booker T and Vic. First match of the night. Julia, Roxanne Perez.
Mainly, I hope it's a one-off because Corey Graves took control, and that's fine. Corey Graves is fantastic. Yeah. And he could definitely be the lead on announcing one day when Michael Cole's done or something. Yeah. I think Corey Graves can slide right into that position well. I don't want to lose Vic as the main and Booker as the commentary.
Yeah, they work well together.
Vic and Booker are fucking hilarious.
It's really
But throughout the whole show, you could see Graves was just taking over.
There were moments where he just, because he's been accustomed to being the lead ever since he switched away from Mark Cole. Anyway, Roxanne Perez defending her NXT Women's Championship against Julia. We both predicted leading in that Julia was going to take it off Roxanne, and she did. New women's champion Julia. They put on Roxanne Perez deserves a lot of credit. She had a hell of a 2024. She drops the title here to Julia. Main roster most likely coming for Roxanne. Julia looked good. What'd you think of the match?
I can respect that comment. I think Roxanne Perez deserves to be on the main roster. I think she's good enough to be there. I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I respect it. She did a good job as champion. I don't know if heel is her persona. I don't think that's her true persona. I think she's fits the babyface better. But nonetheless, fantastic. She will make the main roster. I think she has a very bright future. She did fantastic as the champion in the role she was given. This match could have benefited from being longer.
Okay.
Double length, make it like a 20-minute match, make it feel a bit more epic with what was at stake and what previously happened with Cora Jade and the interference and trying it again and everything and all that. It was all a good throwback. Julia wasn't losing twice, though. It wasn't happening. She was winning all the. I just think this could have benefited from a longer match. It would have felt more epic.
Yep, I agree with that. Eddie Thorpe was seen. He was attacked.
The Rock.
Both of us said, "Oh, it was The Rock." Finally, he got back for touching Ava. Ava doesn't buy it because, well, he faked his last attack to get the match for later that you'll see, later tonight. We get a promo from Javon Evans, whose jaw is wired shut.
good.
vowing to get revenge on Ethan Page.
So fucking good.
So I don't know if he legitimately got like braces or what the hell's going on with Javon, but whatever it is, yeah, it's really good. It's really fucking
Is it a
good.
shoot? Is it a work? Who knows?
Did he actually get his jaw broke? I don't know. Who knows?
I think there'd be a bit more heat on Ethan Page if that was the case.
A little bit. The NXT Women's North American Championship #1 contenders match. Lola Vice, Cora Jade, Kalani Jordan, and Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie Vaquer picks up the win because, of course, she does. She's the only one we saw win in this one. What did you think of her win and the match?
I love Stephanie. We all know this. I don't shy away from it. Stephanie's absolutely fantastic. I said it right off the hop. I was like, fuck, are they going to put the North American title on Stephanie and just go Julia and Stephanie as your champions? And I'm just like, it works.
Mm-hmm.
And
might be happening.
Fallon Henley's been okay. I don't like Fallon. It's another one of those ones I don't like as a heel. I don't think Fallon Henley makes a great heel. Obviously, I want a Stephanie Julia face-off eventually, but I think this is the best way you can showcase new talent that is, their stock is so high, is put your two championships that you have on both of them. I think it's a good move, and it's probably what they are going to do. I wouldn't be overly surprised if they do give Fallon the win here, just kind of, cement. I don't think Stephanie
needs this title.
Loses any momentum losing to Fallon, and also you could go the interference route as well.
Yeah, fatal influence. Yeah,
fatal influence, whatever. However, if their plan is to get Julia Stephanie program at some point, maybe by like Stand and Deliver, who knows? Whatever they do here, though, I think they can't go wrong with what they do here. They have two absolute gems in Julia and Stephanie, and if they play their cards right, they're gonna make absolute superstars out of both of them. They're just so fantastic. Julia's amazing. I think Stephanie's better. That's me. You love Julia. It works. Julia's. Stephanie's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I'll play the card. I think Julia's better, but it's not any. And even on your end, it's not a knock. Stephanie, it's not a knock at Julia. They're both so fucking good, and NXT is blessed to have both of them. And we're still waiting on the push that's going to come eventually with Zarya. I mean, stay tuned. The NXT Women's Division is hot, and even more so, we'll talk about it in a second. But before that, Sarah Schreiber is interviewing Ava. She gets interviewed by Obafemi, who confirms that he's the one that attacked Eddie Thorpe, saying this was retaliation for Eddie Thorpe hitting him the week prior. He says he is not guaranteed Thorpe's attendance. We don't know. Eddie might not make it for the triple threat main event. Stay tuned for that. Chemical X is what we have wrote down here for this team of Shotzi, Tatum Paxton, and Gigi Dolan. Do you know who Shannon Sharp is?
Pause. Ava also had a moment with Unholy Union and put them into a #1 contenders match for the women's tag team titles.
Oh, yes, that did happen. Do you know who Shannon Sharp is by chance?
No.
Or you might know Chad Ochocinco?
No.
Okay, both former NFL players. They have a show with, I think.
Did you not hear what I said about NFL earlier?
Yeah. They have a sports show with Fox. They watched Monday Night Raw and they enjoyed it. So they tuned in, and their Twitter account was live tweeting NXT, and I thought it was hilarious. So Shotzi, Tatum, and Gigi, the quote he called them the goth powder puff girls.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, I get it. They're taking off Fatal Influence, Fallon Henley, Jazz.
He totally stole that from somebody else because I saw that on social media like a week ago.
Oh, okay.
Maybe totally stole that from somebody else, but
I like it, though. I like it. They're going to pick up the win. Shotzi, Tatum, and Gigi over Fatal Influence. What did you think of this tag team action?
You know what NXT was doing here. You know what Sean was doing. Come on.
Yeah.
Shots. I've been. You know what? I keep pushing Shotzi. Gigi's great. Tatum's great. Fatal Influence. I love JC Jane. We all know this. Shotzi. I just think Shotzi has something that they should tap into. I think Shotzi deserves a legitimate run in this business.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I like Shotzi. I like all the women that were in this match. And what I was talking about, the first two matches.
I don't know, something just Shotzi stands out, and I don't know exactly what it is, but she stands out. She stood out in this match. I don't. There's something about her. I think she deserves a legitimate push.
We were talking about the women's division and how great it is. The first 3 matches of this card, all women's matches, all women. Just put them out there.
Fantastic wrestlers. Fantastic wrestlers.
Backstage, Ava meets with Ethan Page. Ethan's a little, happy about his move. They get interrupted by The Rock, who tells Ethan that if you need anything, you come to me. I'm the final boss. But when on NXT, she's the final boss. And we need you two to be cool. Can you all be cool? And Ethan Page is like, yeah, we'll be cool. And as he's walking away, Rock smacks him on the ass and says, get your sweet ass out of here. And
That's sexual harassment.
In an X video, Ethan Page said, I think The Rock gets me. And he says, I have a sweet ass. It's gold, man.
I love The Rock saying that I hope to see you on the main roster soon.
Yeah.
Ethan Page has it. He has it.
Or at the start of it, when Rock shows up, Ethan Page, and he's like, yeah, final boss. It's like, it was good. It's just, and I count
Ethan
this
Page has it.
Did he get the rub here? Is this a rub from The Rock, really?
100% it is.
I mean, it was so good.
You get a backstage segment with The Rock, but nobody else got that backstage segment.
It's true. It's totally true.
They go, we need a backstage segment. Who's on our roster are we going to put with The Rock in a backstage segment? Ethan Page. The dude, AEW, you fucked up. You had an absolute gem.
Fucking totally.
And you put him as MJF's lackey.
And Matt Hardy's lackey as well at one point. Yeah. Anyway, great to see Ethan Page have this moment, and I am excited for when Javon comes back in the match that they might have.
Impressive. They did so good with that. Oh my lord, are they building a story? This is what WWE did better than ever. They're building a story.
Yep, agreed. NXT Heritage Cup sudden death match. Normally the Heritage Cup matches are contested in 5 rounds. First 2 falls is the winner, but this time it's different based on the circumstances. Lexus King picks up the win with the coronation. He is official.
That's not why he won.
Why'd he win then?
He fucking low blowed.
It was incidental contact. Incidental contact.
Was it? I'm pretty sure Conan did the same thing to Eddie Guerrero in '96, but just saying.
Incident. Yeah, Charlie went for to jump over, and Lexus ran right into his nuts, allowing him to hit the coronation for the win. Lexus King
has not quite won the Heritage Cup fairly.
Clean.
Very good story. Yeah. It's a good story.
Yep. We get Fallon Henley, Stephanie McCurry, and Shotzi arguing backstage because Ava needs to make the number 1 contender for the North American title, which technically, based on what happened, is Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie won the number 1 contenders match. Shotzi comes out making a valid argument that she pinned Fallon, so she should be the number 1 contender. Ava books Stephanie Vaquer versus Shotzi next week. Winner will face Fallon Henley. Should be a banger. Jesus Christ, they're cooking. Anyway, main event time. NXT Championship triple threat match. Trick Williams, the champion, defending against Eddie Thorpe and Oba Femi. Eddie Thorpe shows up eventually with a steel chair in this match, but he didn't come out to the start. Oba Femi picks up the win here, man. Oba Femi is fucking good. He's really
so had you gone on one of those betting sites that let you bet on WWE, which just seems weird, insane to begin with. All the betting sites had Trick to retain. You put money on Oba, you might have won some money.
Oba won. Yeah, what'd you think? Go ahead.
Well, they just completely makes you wonder why they even bothered putting Eddie Thorpe in this match when he really.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be the fall guy the whole time.
Nothing. He was inconsequential to the whole match, really, honestly.
Literally,
except for the chair shot, maybe. But
even then, he showed up with a steel chair and Oba beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I know
you're not a huge Eddie Thorpe fan. I just thought it was kind of dirty to do him like that, but maybe it was.
No, I agree.
It was a receipt for something. Maybe
He
it was
was
a
built-
receipt for something. Maybe he
Ooh.
shouldn't. Maybe he shouldn't have attacked Ava. Maybe Sean was just
Attacked? Jesus Christ. Attacked is a stretch. All right.
Nonetheless,
yeah.
it just they did Eddie dirty in that match, in my opinion. But whatever, we'll see what
But
happens. I think give Eddie the right thing to work with. Eddie's got a future. I like what he's got. I think he's better than you think he is.
okay. No, I don't like him for other reasons. Anyway, that's it. Obafemi is your
no
new
shot anyways. So.
the NXT champion. We close NXT with The Rock. We kind of hit this. He really came out with no script. He does cut the promo. Rock says, he's there to thank the crowd for supporting him and putting over NXT. He talked about how he was Flex Cavana at one point and that he would always come back to NXT. It was just The Rock not knowing what to say, and it's still The Rock. When he talks, people listen. He made fun of the internet people, to be honest.
Yeah, he used the moment for a couple things. One, to show that the Netflix thing was just him doing his job, and Cody's still on his radar. Two, and I love that he did this. It's a huge rub to NXT. It's a huge rub to all the talent there. Where he said last night at the Intuit Dome was a sexy ticket. Was the place that you needed to be.
Stars,
It was the hot ticket of the night. But NXT is the place you want to be.
Yeah, I did like that line. He was spot on too. Yeah, so I mean, The Rock really just put over NXT and let people know that he's maybe corporate Rock, but guess what? He's still the final boss. And enjoy the ride that The Rock is taking your candy ass on. And that's how you closed NXT, man. Wow, we talked about a lot of stuff here. A lot of good wrestling just took place. Okay, so we got to wrap things up here. But before we go, of course, a lot of options to choose from here. We'll see if we're in agreement. I think we will be. Let's do show of the week first. What is your show of the week?
Fuck, Wrestle Kingdom was so good.
Yeah, it was.
But they suffered from having Zack Sabre Jr.
So
NXT. It's always NXT.
It's always NXT. New Year's Evil. I'll put Wrestle Kingdom second, and then maybe.
Wasn't for that Zack Sabre as your main event. Honestly, you could have just taken that Zack Sabre match off, put the Gabe Kidd, Kenny Omega match as the main event of Wrestle Kingdom.
I said that. I was like, it should have main evented by both nights. They should have ran it back both nights. So that leads me to this question: who's your wrestler of the week?
Kenny Omega.
No questions asked, brother.
There's not even anybody that's on his level.
Nope.
Nobody comes close.
Nope.
Nobody comes close.
I agree. I mean, there's no argument from me because I agree with you 100%. We're in agreement on both things this week, honestly. Yeah, Kimmy. Jesus Christ, what a match. All right. It's time to close things down here.
Coming Monday.
See you Monday, Penta. Free the Lucha Bros. We got one of them, waiting on the other one. Can't wait for that. Tune in to our episode number 36. Will be a breakdown of this weekend's SmackDown.
What's going to happen this year? We're going to hit 52 episodes.
Let's do it. We are. New Japan's Battle at the Valley. Me and RK will be watching that one.
Where it all started.
Where it all began.
Nostalgia.
This whole idea.
Honestly, I think they could have. If next year's battle, this card is actually a pretty fucking banner card. But next year's card, it could be a shitty card. We're going to watch it because it's nostalgic.
Yep. This is where the Top Rope Renegades was really born. It was the ideology, and then the podcast started rolling out after that. So we will always tune in. With that being said, my name is Kurt. Thank you so much for tuning in. That is RK. We will talk to you guys at episode 36, and the award show is a part of that. So stay tuned. Talk to you guys next time here on the Top Rope Renegades YouTube page with This Week in Wrestling.